Enough of that though, because that's right, it's stream time. Good. Oh, morning, everyone. That's right, it is Sunday, Sunday, Sunday. Will your intro screen have purple hair eventually? I can draw some on top with some scribbly line if you guys want. I can just scribble it on. Oh, anyways, hi guys. Hi. Hi, 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 hi. I hope you guys are having a good Sunday, Sunday, Sunday. How are you feeling today? Better than yesterday? Kind of about the same. I'm not gonna lie. I think I'm sneezing less. I'm not even like sick. I'm like, it feels like allergies. I think is the only way to describe it. But I don't know what I would be feeling allergic to. So I don't know. Insanely short pre-show. I know, right? Fucking robbed. But anyways, guys. Uh, I am excited to tell you all we have a great Sunday ahead of us. First and foremost, I have to talk about something. Okay, guys, I've been getting stunlocked by chatters a lot recently, and I'm putting an end to it now. Okay, there's been too many annoying chatters that have been pissing me the fuck off. So going forward, here's what we're gonna do. Okay, if someone sends an annoying message, instead of replying to it, I'm just gonna time that person out. I just can't decide between 5 minutes and a day. We'll do 5 minutes. Wow, you should tell us more about it. Shut up. A day, please. How about this? How about one 5 minute, and then if they say something else annoying in the same day, one day. How about that? I think that's a good idea. How about forever? Well, I don't know. That's so fucked up because sometimes people you send a message and you don't even realize that it's annoying. You know? So like, it's rough. Just because you don't think us questioning your weird personalized ads, you don't think us question. Are you trying to do it to me right now? What does this mean? Anyways, um, you don't think us. Fuck you. All right. This gas is lit. All right. I got a 10 band Mike's chat for being annoying. I'd be so sad if it was a perma. Yeah. Um, so I think that's what we're gonna do. I think that's what we're gonna do. I think that's what we're gonna do. All right. The Hassan is dead rumors are spreading. Yes. Continue spreading. Yes. Can't decide between 1 second ban and launching them into the sun. All right. What, chatter? Chatter, what do you mean by this? So we can no longer ask when Hassan is coming on my. You're gonna send me into a sneezing, coughing fit again. All right. So I just wanted to make that announcement, that small, minor announcement, which will not impact. This decision will not be impacting 90% of chatters. Honestly, 99% of the chatters. But I'm tired of the 1% of chatters ruining it for everybody else. 1% of chatters eat up 99, or what is it, 50% of the stream time. So we're going to do something about this 1%. All right. 1% of chatters get 1 day timeouts. Exactly. Do it retroactively. Should I start with you? She's gone mad with power. Sorry. Sorry. I was kidding. All right. The power she's always had. I'm a good chatter. I only type when I have something funny to say or want attention. Amen. True. The great Denims purge. Yeah. I just had too many instances of like the past 2 days where I felt like there was a bunch of stuff I wanted to talk about. And then being sick made it worse, where I was so like, I was so brain fogged and I felt so bad. It was hard to stay focused. So honestly, chat was kind of, if you think about it, chat was kind of being ableist. They were like, she's literally neurodivergent and sick. Quick, let's ambush her. So it's kind of very unwoke of chat to do that. Yeah. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna take care of that stuff. And then weird personalized ads on the Onion video. Had to send it again because my dyslexia fucked up my first step. I was like reading, I'm like, I don't understand what this means. All right. What were we talking about? Right, yes. Okay, so yes, it is Sunday. We have a lot of stuff to get to. First and foremost, can we go watch the Elon Musk being a total fucking buffoon? Please? Please? Second, did you guys see the Whitmer update? Where she was like, oh, I don't even want to, I won't even do it justice describing it without showing it. She, endorsed Haley Stevens with the most pathetic endorsement I've ever seen. These people really are just like vote blue no matter who, except when it's someone that actually will improve the lives of people. So I want to talk about that. And then more Trump news. And then maybe some variety? Maybe some variety? Perhaps? Did she stick it to her? A little bit of stick it to her. All right. So lock in, everybody. Lock in. And I need everyone to wake up. Joe Biden, wake up. Wake up. I'm not gonna lie, guys. Hassan taking a break has made me realize how badly I want just like a full week of being a complete potato and doing nothing and just vegetating. Too much excitement in my life yesterday. Can't believe you're gonna play hit game Honkai Star Rail. Uh-huh. Yeah. Is that right? Is that right? Is that correct? All right. Stop this chance to prove it. All right, let's go. Let's watch. So, dude, why is this on my like recommended on YouTube? Pete returns to Fox News on the official Pete Buttigieg YouTube page. Stay in touch with Pete. You know, I don't think I will. What I would tell Trump. This is like the best moment to ask who. Who fucking asked? Who fucking asked? No one cares. Yeah, well, I'd really tell him. I'd really tell him off.
Great to have you here in New York.
Thanks for having me. Good to be here.
Some are saying that she appears to be a sympathizer with some of those radical policy calls, eliminating the Senate, defunding the Department of War.
Eliminating the Senate. Talking about it like AOC called for every single senator to be murdered, to be executed.
Ending all deportations. How do you see it?
Yeah, look, I think that there are so many issues where about 2/3 of Americans are in agreement with each other and in disagreement with the president. And my focus is on those things, right? 2/3 of Americans disagree with the Trump tax cuts for the wealthiest Americans. 2/3 of this country believe that wages ought to be higher. Even most Republicans think we ought to raise the minimum wage more than we have. Most Americans believe that we ought to have health care for everybody. There's a version of it I've proposed. There's obviously lots of different versions of how to do that. But that's something most people agree with each other on. Most people are against President Trump's health care cuts, many of which will go into effect next year, I think kind of cleverly timed to come just after the election. So that to me is where the center of gravity of the country meets the center of gravity in my party. And that's what my focus is on when I'm traveling around the country. I go to a lot of places, including more conservative places. We were in Nebraska recently. I was in Arkansas campaigning. And those are the things people most want to know about. How is my life going to be different depending who's in charge?
So you just pitched to them healthcare because that does top the list for a lot of people.
I like how we've moved past actually trying to have good policy. Now you just say like healthcare. You want it. Healthcare. And then you just move on. It's like
people, they're concerned about the affordability issue when it comes to healthcare. I'm surprised even to see that topping gas, food prices, housing prices even. It sounds like you're pitching Medicare for all. So what do you see?
Well, you remember we had a whole debate over this back when I was running for president. I favored something we called Medicare for all who want it. The idea is that there is that publicly available plan, but we're not going to force anybody onto it. I still think that's the right answer. And it's interesting, some of the critics of that plan before have come to embrace it now. I think it would be a good policy. But yeah, the cost of healthcare, the cost of gas, obviously through the roof as a direct result of President Trump breaking his promise not to start a war and what's going on in the Iran war. These are the things I'm being asked about when I'm on the road.
So when it...
Who just show me one person. Like, I would put my life savings of 1 penny and a piece of lint on the fact that you have not ever been asked by anyone anything ever. I would argue you go places and everyone just says, why is he eating that food like a little rat? Why is that a cinnamon roll? What the fuck? What the fuck?
Comes to the Iran war. We've had many, military experts on the program just the last 90 minutes telling us that it's time to go big. At this point in the war, I know you've been very critical of how long we have been in it, and you feel that President Trump has broken his promise to the American people.
Well, not I feel. He made a specific promise and then he did something else.
So at this point, based on...
Do you know how bad it pisses me off? That this is not a chicken wing? That this is a fucking cinnamon roll? Who the fuck eats a cinnamon roll like this? I don't even care anymore. Straight to jail. If you eat cinnamon rolls like this, jail. Now. Raccoons can eat it like that. Rats can eat it like that. If you are meant to be a human being and you eat a cinnamon roll like that, delete you from the sun or to the sun. And then there's this. I don't even know what the fuck he's eating in this one. I don't even know what the fuck he's eating. Dude. Why are there so many photos of him eating food like this? What the fuck? Dude.
where we are, what would you like to see happen next if you were advising President Trump?
Well, if I was advising President Trump, I'm trying to try that scenario on for size. I guess I'd advise him to start by telling the truth to the American people, because when he says it's going to be 4 weeks and then breaks that promise, it reminds people of when he said he wouldn't start this war and broke that promise. When he says he will settle for nothing less than unconditional surrender and regime change, and then changed his mind, backpedaled, and agreed to a framework for a ceasefire that was very different, then that ceasefire has been broken. The outrageous news that we just got, that the Trump administration removed the names of 4 of our service members who were killed in action, apparently because the fact that they had been killed in action goes against his fiction that sometimes he says we're actually not in a war, even though everybody knows we are. What I would say to him is, you know, when I was in uniform, when I was deployed, I knew that on some level, my life depended on the credibility of the people running our government. And American lives depend on him telling the truth, even when it's hard.
Do you agree with removing Iran's nuclear capabilities?
Yeah, Iran should never have a nuclear weapon. And
You know, it's shocking that this guy did not win the Democratic primary for presidency. It's really shocking. I'm personally shocked.
each of the last, well, every administration in my lifetime has found a way of achieving that. It's just the other administrations managed to achieve it without getting the United States into a war and without getting American troops killed.
Removing Iran's nuclear capabilities?
Iran should never have a nuclear program.
Okay, so this is Montana Senator Tim Sheehy. He was on Fox and Friends. This is back on June 22nd, and he said this, listen.
What's worse than a forever war in the Middle East is a forever war right here on our streets. Just down the road, 9/11, the Iranians want to bring that war here. They want to create a global caliphate of Sharia law and kill all of us. And that's not a theory. That's what they actually try to do every day. So I think we have to remember that and, you know,
remember your hallucinations? Why the fuck would we do that?
having our troops fight them there is far better than us fighting them here.
Get a thought there.
That is almost word for word what they told us when we were sold the war in Iraq. Remember in 2003, they said if we don't go in...
You don't get to... Sorry, let me calm down. Let me take it down a couple notches. I'm here. Let me take it down a couple notches. All right. Personally, I think you don't get to be like, that's how they sold us the last war. I won't fall for this again. But yeah, we do need to make sure they don't get nukes. Carry the one. Divide by 2. Okay. Okay. All right. So what the fuck are you on about then? What the fuck? Oh God, dude. You're letting your cinnamon bun eating habits cloud your judgment.
Invade Iraq, take down Saddam Hussein. If we're not fighting him there, we're going to wind up fighting him here. And that war in Iraq made America weaker. This war on Iran is making America weaker. Folks at home, look, 6 months ago, at least where I live in Michigan, you didn't have to get up in the morning and worry about the Strait of Hormuz. You didn't have to know where it was. It wasn't affecting your life. Now, folks from my neighbors in Michigan to people coast to coast in this country are paying more for gas, more for diesel, mortgage rates are going up, and of course our tax dollars are going into a war where it's pretty clear even the best case scenario is going to have us worse off than where we were. Because a year ago, the Strait of Hormuz...
It really is like everything wrong with like the modern establishment Democrat. You agree with every nonsensical premise and then disagree with the solutions that Republicans create or suggest. It's like, what the fuck are you... What?
was open. Now we're fighting to try to figure out somehow how to get it open again. So back to that scenario you invited me to think about before, where I'm somehow advising President Trump. I guess the other thing I would say is, like, listen to the intelligence a little more. Listen to the same generals and the intelligence that told you, hey, if you do this, they might close the Strait of Hormuz. And he said, oh, that'll never happen. And
they agree. They just don't admit it. No, I'm talking about like publicly. Like, everyone already knows that they agree privately. Duh, that's why everything goes through. But I'm talking about like publicly. They'll be like, I agree. Immigrants are the problem. However, what if we only, I don't know, what if we sent them to the immigrant squishing machine, but like at half the rate? It's like, what? What the fuck are you talking about?
And he did, and then that's what happened. Maybe he should pay more attention to that, and most of all, pay more attention to the American people who do not want an escalation of the Iran war.
Okay. I want to ask you about big change, because I hear you talking about big change. And in our recent Fox News polling, a majority of Democrats want some sort of dramatic or revolutionary change in our nation's government. I mean, you see a lot of it in the DSA playbook. But what would you be looking to do? Are you someone that could lead the country through this sort of revolutionary, dramatic change that many voters say they're seeking?
I think we do need dramatic change. And I think not just most Democrats, but most Americans want that. So look, I'm more moderate on a lot of issues, but I also think we need radical change when it comes to our institutions.
Like what?
And, well, for example, right now we just allow gerrymandering. We allow so much manipulation of congressional districts that 9 out of 10 House races are decided before the first vote is even cast. And that's in a 50-50 country. That needs to change. Money in politics needs to change. The flood of corporate PAC money going into our politics. And I sincerely believe that being against that kind of role of money in politics doesn't have to be a left or right position. I was in Montana. There's a bipartisan initiative there. It's going to voters on the ballot. It's called the Montana Plan, that would do something about money in politics. I personally believe that we ought to have a constitutional amendment about this to clear up that corporations are not the same thing as people, and that money, flooding money into campaigns out of corporate treasuries, is not the same thing as a person using their right to speech. So, look, that's ambitious. That's definitely a big change, especially talking about a constitutional amendment. But we've changed we've amended our Constitution more than 25 times.
And you're willing to do so. I want to ask you about the Supreme Court. Rewind the tape. This is June 11th. You suggested this. Watch.
We have. All right, I was muted, guys. I said because I'm watching Pete Buttigieg. That's enough to make anyone sad, and if you don't understand that, take 10 minutes.
Have to deal with a Supreme Court that is now a rogue Supreme Court. Nowhere in the Constitution does it say that there have to be 9 Supreme Court justices. That one doesn't even take a constitutional amendment.
So where are you going with this?
Yeah, what I'm saying is that under the
What I'm saying is I'm not going to do anything ever that would actually change anything. But I'm pretending like I'm going to, and I'm going to give the Republicans ideas. Dude, like literally. Oh, sorry. Oh. I have to like sneeze. Are we good? I think we're maybe good. Okay, I think we're good. Republicans, we're having the military throw protesters in unmarked vans. Democrats, mark the vans. You guys don't see like a bigger problem here? No? All right. Got it. Got it. Cool. Cool.
the laws of this country, under the Constitution of this country, we could have a Supreme Court that better reflects the expectations of the American people and that is more legitimate. The legitimacy of the Supreme Court is, I believe, the lowest it's ever been in the eyes of the American people. It's come to feel like a nakedly partisan institution. We could do some things about that. At a minimum, term limits so that you know for each presidential term how many Supreme Court appointments are going to go with it. But I also think we would be better off with a court that has something like 13 justices that would match the number of districts that we have in the federal system. And ideally, appoint them in a way that isn't so partisan. There are a lot of interesting different ideas and proposals for how to do it. One of them is called a balanced bench. So what you do is you have some appointed by Democrats, some appointed by Republicans, and some who can only be seated if there's a consensus among the rest. I'm not wedded to one single vision of reform. I think there are lots of different ways to do it. But my bigger point is this. If something can't go on forever, it won't. And the collapse in trust in the Supreme Court, the bizarre way we win our congressional elections with maps drawn into these weird shapes in order to make one party or another party win, the level of money that is just flooding our political system, it can't go on like that. And when something unsustainable goes and goes and goes, you're either going to have reform or you're going to have a catastrophe. I want it to be reform, and I don't think that has to be a partisan issue.
Got it. Fox News polling also asks about immigration and deportation. Our new polling shows that just 7% of Americans think that illegal migrants should be allowed to remain in the United States. Yet, I just read the DSA playbook, Democrats, Socialists of America, and they want to let everybody in. Where do you...
Yes, let everyone in. Yes. It's so stupid to try and appeal to Fox News voters because, bro, like Fox News voters are never going to vote for you, man. It's kind of giving like Lauren Southern putting out that piece being like, guys, I don't know if you know this. The alt-right men are sexist to women. Did you guys know that? They don't like women. It's like, yeah, you stupid slut. Of course they don't like women. Hello? What are you... What the fuck? How could you say something so stupid? I don't understand. You're never going to appeal to them. Hello?
Stand on immigration and should deportations continue to happen, or those just that have committed crimes? Where specifically are you standing on this issue?
Yeah, I disagree with the idea that you would just let everybody in. And I think most of us in this country do agree that if somebody's committed a crime, they have to be deported, they have to be held accountable, they have to face justice. Also, there have to be ways for people to have some way to get in line and earn citizenship, especially people who were brought here
There's a lot of folks in your party who disagree with that.
There are some, yeah. I don't agree with everybody in my party on everything, but I think most Democrats, and actually, interestingly, most Americans agree on the broad picture of what to do. The weird thing is, how come
they really need to stop courting the 4 surviving Romney Republicans and trying to motivate people that refuse to vote because they don't see anyone trying to help them? It's just so bizarre. Like, I just don't understand. What the fuck is the point? Like, just think about it, like, with any semblance of common sense. If you're a Republican that wants to vote for Trump because you think immigrants are destroying this country, Pete Buttigieg getting on Fox News and saying, I agree, we should do something about the immigrants. I just don't think we should be super extreme about it. Why would that motivate you to vote for that guy? He just conceded the point, which he shouldn't have conceded, and said he's not going to do anything about it. Why the fuck would you vote? Why would you vote for that guy? It makes no fucking sense at all.
that reform hasn't happened? See, I think a lot of voters who voted for Donald Trump believed him when he said that he was going to focus on those who committed crimes. Just like voters believed him when he said he was going to keep us out of wars like the war in Iran. And a lot of voters believed him when he said he was going to bring prices down on day one. Mm-hmm. Instead, if you look at the inflation rate on day one, when Donald Trump took over from Joe Biden, and you look at the inflation rate today, it's higher today. So you have this set of broken promises that I think is an opening for us as a country to have a different
you open the door to affordability in the economy.
Yeah.
So what are you offering? What are you offering? What is the solution to what so many of you Democrats are saying are failed economic policies in this country? Right now, I look at average hourly earnings, they're up. Wages are up. The American stock market has been rocking. It's at all-time highs. Growth has been up. What are you pitching? What do you think is the solution to, the polling that does show that there is a frustration with the American people, specifically when it comes to affordability?
Yeah, I think Americans are frustrated because we see some of those top line numbers you're talking about. Economic growth overall up, stock market way up, but wages haven't moved nearly as much as profits have. It tells you that something is off. So some basic things we can do. First of all, raise wages. Again, most Republicans agree with me and disagree with Washington Republicans on having a minimum wage increase. It hasn't increased in years. At least over 12 is what most Republicans can agree on. I think it needs to go north of that.
Small business owners are going to say you're going to
$12 is what this fucker said. That's really gonna make a dent, dude. I like how he gave the most meager number I've ever seen. Like, literally, the most pathetic, meager number I've ever seen. And this fucking host literally says, oh, and what about the small business owners? Sorry, I'm putting on some socks. One second. I can't believe there's actually someone in chat. Yeah, most meager number, and she immediately crashes out. I can't believe there's someone in chat that actually is falling for this propaganda. Do you think bumfuck Alabama can afford $20 an hour? Well, that demographic that Dems lose constantly. Did you know that you never ever have to prove cause and effect? You never have to prove causality. You can just point at correlation and pretend like it proves every single point you want it to forever. Democrats lose these areas. Therefore, I'm going to say that it's because of the reason I want it to be. Did you guys know that eating ice cream causes shark attacks? Do you guys know that? Yeah. No, for sure. See, like, here's the irrefutable evidence. Ice cream attack. Or sorry, shark attack go up. Ice cream sales go up. It must be that the ice cream is attracting the sharks to your location. Yeah. If you think about it that way. What if the sharks are the ones causing the ice cream? Oh, shit. So right, man. To try and explain why Democrats lose any given individual district or state and pretend like and pin it on just one thing is just so unbelievably idiotic. Not to mention, I would argue, so federally mandating their minimum wage with their economy will have the same effect as $20 an hour in California. Okay, if you can't, I'm literally not pinning it on one thing. You literally, okay. Whatever you say, chatter. If you can't afford to pay your workers to live in the city that they work in, you don't know how to run a profitable business and you should not be in business. Do you understand? It's just like, I don't understand how that easy to say. Why'd he turn into like a caveman on that one? I'm sorry, is someone forcing you to be a small business owner? It's just like so bizarro to me. I don't understand. Like, it's just. If you can't pay the expenses required to run the business you want to run, then you shouldn't run that business because you don't have the financial intelligence to run that business. Should I give you a loan that you can't pay back? Since we're just doing things that make no financial sense. Oh, here's this mortgage for this house that you can't afford. That easy to say, huh? Get better at capitalism if you want to be a capitalist. It's just so bizarre. I just like I don't understand like the simping for a company that sucks at doing business. It just feels like there's a big misunderstanding of local econs. If the government won't help step in with the minimum wage buff, like servers who don't make minimum wage, I don't know what you think the end result will be, minus more box stores. Then why is it that in New York City, one of the cities that has the highest minimum wage, highest minimum wages in the country, they have no big box stores? If you think the solution to people being poor is ignore it and do something else because you can't raise the minimum wage because it would be mean to the business owners, that's not a good strategy. That's not a good, huh? New York City isn't poor AF. Dude, 2 million New Yorkers live in rent-subsidized housing. The city might have money, but it doesn't mean that the people who live there are all drowning in money. Hello? So New York City is poor because, okay, can you try and think of things in like a slightly broader sense? Instead of everything being like this singular statement that has to be all encompassing. Sorry, guys. The 10-minute timeout rule is about other leftists. It's not about rightoids. I will never stop having fun making fun of rightoids. That's about leftists that say things. And they're like, actually, Jon Stewart is a liberal and we need to kill him now in Minecraft. Like, it's about those people. Like, I just genuine curiosity. Since everyone else here is lacking nuance and lacking the understanding of big econ, of local econ, what exactly is your strategy, your great economic strategy for improving the living conditions of people who live in poor states and poor cities? Data centers. More AI data centers, obviously. That's funny as fuck. There's a term in German that I don't know how it goes in English, but basically, if the premise of my argument is false, then anything can follow from it. Example, 1 + 1 = 1. Therefore, I am the Pope. That's just how conservatives, not just in the United States, argue. Hard to combat, but establishment Dems show precisely how not to combat it. Yeah. Correct. Like, no, we have to care about these small business owners. Wait, what? I reject your initial premise. Wait, what the fuck? We have to bend over backwards to make sure that shitty small business owners and petty tyrants get to make their share, abusing the local workforce? I don't agree with that. So we can't raise the minimum wage. I don't agree with that. Wait, what the fuck? No. My mother was a small pope, excuse you. You'd raise wages to a point the state's economics could actually handle. If there's need to be government support, that's fine, question mark? Nope, not even a little close. It's just that throwing up wages to $20 an hour when it's been $7 for decades needs government support. You're going to end up with a lot of sad ass end cons. You know, minimum wages everywhere have a period of time that they are raised. Like, it's not overnight. In fact, I don't think in the past decade of looking at minimum wage raises, you'd find a state that has raised their minimum wage $13 overnight. They do it year over year with like an increase of $1. So I don't even know what you're talking. Like you just hallucinated something that wouldn't happen. Huh? I mean, if that a lot of places still have what? Okay, bro, I just need you to be literate. Okay, I need to be able to understand what you're writing. Because if that a lot of places still have federal min, I don't even know what that means. I wish you the best of luck. All right. Do you guys remember when people said, we can't raise the minimum wage of McDonald's workers because then hamburgers will be $10 billion? And McDonald's opened 1 million locations up in Europe, and they had minimum wage at $23, and then Big Macs, in fact, did not go up $1 billion. It's almost like it's always been fear-mongering. Remember when people would come in to say, how's the lawsuit going? Yeah. I'm sad if you think that's my takeaway. I was hugely in support of California doing the fast, good wage raises. No, you're just buying into propaganda for literally no fucking reason. This is... Minimum wage raises are always done in phases. They're not going overnight in any individual city. If you go and look at the amount of... Someone have like that chart that shows what is the minimum amount, what is the minimum wage required to be able to rent a 1-bedroom apartment in every state? And $725 is not enough in any state.
Kill me.
They've always said that, but right now the minimum wage is lower when you account for inflation by something like 30% than it was the last time we raised it. We should just index it to inflation so we don't have these fights every few years. We should do healthcare that's available to everybody, like that proposal I was telling you about earlier. Another thing we can do is just stop making it worse. We woke up to news today that Donald Trump is imposing a new 10% tax effective at midnight last night that we got to pay on all kinds of goods. Why would you put an extra tax, an extra tariff on things when affordability is so hard?
But I'm asking you, how do you make life more affordable for the average American?
Well, I just told you, we cut the cost of healthcare, right? And also, if Republicans hadn't gotten rid of that help on healthcare premiums, right, premiums would be lower. So we should make healthcare premiums lower instead of higher, the way congressional Republicans raised them. We should make sure wages are higher instead of keeping them stuck where they are. We should be supporting childcare. By the way, I'm very interested in maybe a bipartisan consensus where we work on childcare that's not just about supporting childcare in an institutional setting where you like drop somebody off at a center. That's great for some families. A lot of families are doing family childcare. Sometimes they're like me in a sandwich generation where you're looking over after both a parent and children at the same time. We should be supporting family caregivers as well. We could use tax credits to do that. Another thing that would make America more affordable, do more with the child tax credit, which successfully cut the rate of child poverty in half. And then congressional Republicans refused to extend it. All of these are specific, concrete things that will work, that most Americans agree on, but you can't get through Washington. Why? Because the political system is broken, which is why I keep talking about those reforms on how we elect House members, money in politics, how we elect the president is another one I care about. All these things that I think would make a difference.
Real quick before you go, I mean, has this socialist wave, I mean, you're sitting in New York City, we've got a socialist mayor in New York City, Zohran Mamdani. Is it gone too far, do you believe?
Has it gone too far? He removed the it was $1 billion deficit. Has he gone too far?
Look, there's always going to be some people in my party who go too far for.
Like literally. Stop. Wait, sorry. Let me control myself. I'm sure he's going to say Zohran did not go too far. Stop. There's no way he's saying there's always going to be people that go too far.
For me, people I disagree with. If you pick the 5 or 10 or 15 furthest left people in our party, they're going to, by definition, disagree with a lot of others. But there's so much that we do, in fact, agree on. And I think one of the reasons why you see people who run on a promise of shaking it up, whether it's a DSA candidate on the left or whether it's someone like Donald Trump, is because people can tell that the system we have is not just showing its age, it's letting us down. That system can change. There's a way to do that that is not destructive.
What kind of Democrat are you? I mean,
literally go fuck yourself, dude. This is why you will never have an emotion, Pete Buttigieg. This is the most easy slam dunk on the planet. Zohran is literally the fucking kingmaker, and you see him, and you're like, of course I think some people go too far. Of course I think that. What is it? What has he gone too far on? Tell me what. Oh no, he wants fast and free buses. Oh no, he got rid of the $12 billion deficit. Oh no, he wants child care. Oh no, grocery stores. But worst of all, that smile. What the fuck? Like, oh no, he wants to tax people that own more than one home and have $1 million second penthouses in New York. Won't he please think of the people who can afford not one, but 2 homes for millions of dollars? Won't he please think of that? It's just not fair to tax them. Are you kidding me?
We've got blue MAGA, we've got socialists. There's
label after. I don't know. I'm a Pete Buttigieg Democrat. I think I'm a common sense Democrat.
I'm a Pete Buttigieg Democrat. That's got like the same aura as saying like, I'm a Tectone streamer. So motionless, loser, nobody likes you, and you're cringy. And you fell off. Got it. Okay.
Yeah, but of course, everybody thinks that their ideas are common sense to them.
And you're running for president?
I'm not running for anything. I'm helping.
Bitch, you ain't running for anything because you ain't winning anything.
People who are, because this is a very important election where people are seeing that their everyday lives, from the price of gas to healthcare, is on the line. And I think a lot of people who generally prefer a Republican president still want to see some kind of balance, some kind of check, some kind of restraint, and are considering, maybe for the first time in a long time, voting for a Democrat for Congress.
Oh, can we pin this message? Here are DSA candidates who need your support by volunteering to make calls, knock on doors, do other fun tasks, big and small. Even a single hour makes a huge difference before the next election on August 4th. Navigate to their campaign pages to volunteer remotely to support and phone bank for Abdul. Here are the times. Can we pin this message?
Really interesting stuff. Appreciate you coming by today. Thank you so much, Mr. Secretary.
Thanks for having me.
All right. Come.
God, dude. That fucking loser ass fucking scumbag. Great job, bro. Yes, sell out the American people so you can fucking make your bag. Congratulations. God. This guy's still going. Y'all would not survive the early 2000s of typos. You understand that there's a difference between a typo and writing a sentence that doesn't make any sense? I mean, if that a lot of places still have federal minimum. I'm not even trying to be annoying. I just don't even know what the fuck that means. It's not a typo. That's like you're missing whole words, bro. Because Dems have been hardcore losing middle America as long as I've been able to vote for, which is a while now. Federal minimum wage should go up and slowly, but it's a silly idea to assume it won't hurt smaller economies. Unless there's federal assistance with it, which should absolutely be the case if federal minimum wage is what's being raised. Just like servers who make under the federal minimum wage and difference is paid, though not as much as it should be. Yeah, but you're conceding ground to Republicans for literally no reason at all. Doing this like, no, what are we going to do about the small economies? Is so ridiculous. It's just like nonsensical. Republicans can get in office and do whatever the fuck they want and make people's lives worse. And they win elections. Why? Because they actually have any fucking aura at all. So you're just mistaken. You're mistaken about the reason why Democrats are losing. Democrats lose because they run on these pathetic, like, middle ground positions where they say, we're going to do stuff, and then they don't do anything. Trump administration has now cut $600 million in funding for critical HIV and STD programs. Experts say sexually transmitted diseases will now become far more common in the United States as a result. Also, without even checking, I know the comments are just filled with, that can't affect me because I'm straight. I just know. Bro, why is Trump able to snap his fingers and make everything immediately worse while Democrats need unanimous permission from the whole world to wipe their own asses? This is what I'm talking about. Like, the idea that Democrats need to be careful to not do too much, it's just a fucking joke. Mamdani has come in like a fucking wrecking ball and done whatever the fuck he's wanted, whenever the fuck he's wanted. He's eliminated the deficit and made everyone's lives better off in New York. And guess what? People love him. And everybody wants him as a mayor. This like, we need to be nice to the small economies and we don't want to raise the minimum wage too fast. So it's not too scary. It's just it's just like nonsensical. It's like, to make that argument is nonsensical. Instead of phrasing it as like anything other than, yeah, this needs to happen, and housing prices need to go down, and we need better taxation policies for the ultra wealthy, and like capitulating before you've even started to fight is just so pathetic. It's just so pathetic. And political grifting streams are played out. Go sit in a hot tub, bitch. You enjoying summer break? Don't forget, you still have to do your remedial classes, Billy. I know math is hard. I know. But that's why you're in summer school. Okay? I'm sure the teachers would help you out if you ask nicely. All right? Okay. Anyways, yeah. Close. But you know what I'm excited for, guys? Don't be mean to him. He's had to do algebra for 3 years in a row now. No. Poor buddy. Poor little buddy. All right. Look at this fucking chatter, dude. Sorry. One other chatter we have to take care of today. Bro's been around for almost a year now. And he's like, today is my day. So you want the big corporations to be the only ones left because no startup business can pay that right out of the gate. Do I need to explain to you that federal minimum wage hasn't changed in decades, and yet startup businesses have existed since the beginning of time. Like, what you're saying doesn't even make any sense. We've had startup businesses when we introduced the $7.25 minimum wage. Like, history disagrees with you. No, we only started having small businesses a couple years ago. Like, what? Hmm? Not to mention, startups are already failing all the time, even without the increase in federal minimum wage. That's a really dumb argument from the chatter. It's like talking about restaurants and being like, 90% of restaurants close within the first 5 years. So we need to do something to help restaurants by never giving workers better living conditions. It's like, first of all, why the fuck is that your first solution? Okay. Second, isn't that the whole reason that you people argue that business owners deserve to make more than their workers because they're taking on all the risk? Okay, then take on the risk, bitch. That's the worldview that you subscribe to. But then you're like, but it's mean to them. But I don't like that I made that argument 5 seconds ago. Like, I don't understand. It's just like, it's so nonsensical. It just confuses the shit out of me. Workers can negotiate their pay, you know? I take it you've never participated in the workforce. Unemployed, are you? Yeah, me too. Me too. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Gotcha. Now I own a charter boat business. Mm-hmm. And your girlfriend's from Canada, I take it? She goes to a different school. Oh, okay. Got it. I love the idea of I'm saying, so you've never worked as an employee before, and his response was, correct. I just like, you can't invent this type of stupidity. You just can't. If I tried to write it, I'm literally a captain. Bro goes out in the front yard with his cardboard box and says, I'm the captain of this ship. Ahoy, matey. And I have 3 employees. I work 6 days a week, 10-hour days. It sounds like you're not working hard enough if you're wasting your time in a fucking Twitch chat. No wonder you're complaining about having to raise wages for workers. You don't want to pay them more. And it might make you have to work more. Again, like, do you guys think he understands that, like, the argument that was just made against him was, so you've never been exploited by a business owner before, and his response was, I'll have you know, I do the exploiting. Mm-hmm. I was a line cook for 15 years. Is that you, Sanji? Sanji, is that you? Okay. Mm-hmm. Sanji's hot, though. Also, Sanji respects women. Amazon donated to Israel, by the way. By the way, I don't know if you know. This is giving the exact same energy as Jon Stewart's last name isn't even Stewart. Okay. Well, I just thought you should know. Dude, my tax dollars go to Israel. There isn't a world I can live in as an American where my money doesn't go to Israel. Do you understand that? abolish the federal and income tax. Fed and income tax. Guys, should I pull up the poop city? Should I do it? Stop printing money and increase the value of the dollar if you want spending power. Did you watch one video on YouTube about economics? Bro's entire education is PragerU. He's like, yeah, I've been to university. Prager University, as a matter of fact. Not to brag or anything, but I don't know if you've heard of this thing called supply and demand. No. Anytime anyone talks about abolishing the abolishing federal taxes or abolishing the income taxes, I love to bring up the Libertarian City of Von Ormy that failed so horribly that they couldn't bring in new business because they didn't have a sewer system. So as you guys would imagine, your taxpayer dollars actually do go towards some things sometimes. All right? One of those things is a sewage system. So when you try and run a libertarian city where you have absolutely no sewage, you struggle to bring in new business. And this is the problem that this city ran into, where Walmart refused to build or to bring business to their city because they were like, we're not building it in Kaka City, bro. Sorry, our employees need to have bathrooms available to them. So unless you guys are ready to build some fucking sewage systems, we're not doing that. When the commissioner met with the residents of Von Ormy, they told her sewer service was their greatest need. They all said sewer, she said, because without sewer, it's hard for us to grow, and we want to grow. We want development. We want economic development. In addition to money coming in from the county, another $1.25 million has been secured through federal government allocation. Oh, look at that. Wow. Isn't that so crazy that their city sucks so bad because they're like, we're going to have a libertarian city where you don't have to pay taxes. Taxes are a scam. We're removing all of these bullshit taxes. And then what do? They just literally, they just rely on federal grants and federal money. Shocking. Isn't that, would it shock you to know that red states take advantage of blue states that pay in to the taxpayer system, to the federal taxpayer system? I, for one, am shocked. City Administrator Nav said that the prospect of sewer, a service every other parts of Clay Flores' precinct are still waiting on. It's very exciting. We really need it. Von Ormy has really been has been kind of left out of that for forever. No new taxes. The only taxes they have are like speed traps, and I think that they might have property taxes. It's been a while since I've checked in on this city that's apparently still failing. But yeah, businessman and Houston native Casey Homer, bro, they elected a guy named Homer and they wondered why their city failed. Age 33, was elected mayor in May. He succeeded Sally Martinez, who served for 6 years following Von Ormy's early years as a libertarian experiment when a previous administration sought to avoid big city taxes and regulations. Oh my God. Yeah. They literally removed all of the taxes in their city. And then they were like, dude, what the hell? Wait a minute. How are we going to pay for everything? It's so funny to read some of these sentences. But none of the city's recent differences stand in the way of the sewer project. Clay Flores said, because that's something I've been working on since I got here. I think as a community, they are in agreement that they want sewer, that they want economic development. This is what happens when you give libertarians power, by the way. I'm a sewers guy. Anyways. Yeah, this is whenever I hear people talk about this, I just think about, and this is what everybody else should think about. You know that someone is like a bona fide fucking moron when they say, we need to remove all of the taxes. That's what's getting in the way. In the way of what? Having sewage? Having a sewage system? Having a sanitation department? Getting in the way of what? The basic needs of society? Okay. Yeah, how about this? You don't want the taxes? Go live in fucking Von Army, dude. Go live there. Tell me how you like not having a toilet, dude. Go for it. Live your best life out there, man. They also didn't have trash collections and kept getting mobbed by bears. I forgot about that. That was another problem that the people of that Libertarian City kept running into. Bears just kept attacking the trash because there was no trash. There was no sanitation department. Oh, God. Weed was $60 for 3.5 15 years ago. Now it's $20. That's free market capitalism. Me when I describe not capitalism. That's capitalism. It's okay, buddy. It's okay. You got it. You got it, buddy. I would recommend brushing up on the very basics of anything business related, honestly. Just anything at all. All right. Just really the basics. All right. Now, look at this.
As governor, I've had one strategy: get things done. And that strategy informs everything that I do. And that's why I'm endorsing Haley Stevens for the U.S. Senate. Just like me, Haley will do whatever it takes to get things done for the people of Michigan. And we need her now more than ever. Republicans in D.C. are making your life harder and more expensive. Tariffs, cuts to Medicaid, soaring gas prices, it's all piling on. Luckily, Haley is taking them on and putting money back in Michiganders' pockets. She helped President Obama save the auto industry and protect 200,000 Michigan jobs, brought billions home to rebuild Michigan manufacturing, took on Big Pharma to lower the cost of prescription drugs, led the fight to block Republicans from defunding Social Security. And she's standing up to Republicans right now as they jack up the price of gas, groceries, and health care. Haley is as Michigan as it gets. She grew up in a middle-class household. Her parents ran a landscaping business out of their Ford F-150, and she'll tell anyone who will listen about her first Oldsmobile. She knows what Michigan families are going through, and that's how I know she will always put Michigan first. Join me in voting for Haley Stevens on or before August 4th.
Doctor Saeed, something's been growing on me. I said Ford. You know the word Ford, Michiganders. Come on. Party establishment has made their decision. They do not want change. They do not want fighters. The people of Michigan will now make their decision. Do you want corporate stooges who push endless wars, or do you want Medicare for all? Do you want to stop MAGA, or do you want to cooperate? It's just so disgusting. It's crazy to me that establishment Dems would rather have candidates that hurt the American population but benefit their wallets than beat Republicans. Like, it's just so bizarre to me. I just can't. I can't understand it. I just can't understand it. Guys, I'm trying to stifle the sneezing and the coughing so bad. But we're going to stay strong. All right. Okay. There's other stuff that I want to show you guys really badly. First, really fast. Are your haram of simps now going to harass and dox me? Already getting to him. Why are you such a fucking baby? Bro, go play some fucking League and stop being such a fucking soft, pathetic little fucking loser. Oh my god, dude. Try getting reported by everyone on your team for dying once in lane, okay? Oh, Christ. You actually died twice, Denims? Okay, fuck you. You're so mad. It's gotta be that these people don't interact with other human beings, so they don't know what emotions look like, right? That has to be what it is. Because I can't imagine a universe where someone's laughing their ass off at me and I'm like, you're mad. You're mad at me. This is a classic sign of someone being angry. They're smiling and laughing at me. What the fuck are you talking? Classic libtard argument. Call them incel or pedo. What? I didn't call you either of those. Are you good? I said you're a loser with no friends. What? Who said that? No. Why are you projecting? I don't understand. It's weird. Okay. Interesting takeaway. Interesting takeaway. Okay. Do I get paid for this? What? Dude, you gotta stop. Like, you gotta stop. It's so cringe. It's so cringe. We talked about it in this Discord? Whoops, wrong chat. Bro's starting to have conversations with himself, man. I've deleted accounts for like 99% less than this. Oh god, dude. I can't get over this one. I can't get over this one. I called him a friendless loser and he's like, you must be trying to say I'm an incel or a pedophile. What the fuck? Why would you say that? Why the fuck would you ever say that? See, I'm funny. I do get paid. No, no, you're fun to make fun of. You're not funny. But if it makes you feel better and it helps you sleep at night, you can pretend like everyone's laughing with you instead of at you. That's okay. Besides, I thought everyone was mad. How can people be thinking that you're funny and having fun if everyone's mad? You just said that 2 seconds ago. Wait a minute. The piñata doesn't get paid. Bro thinks he's on the team. Oh, God, dude. Shut the fuck up, dude, man. Christ almighty. Anyways. Get back on your fucking boat, idiot. Taking the chud tube to work. This is that chatter. Go take your fucking chud tube to work. All right. I'm going to say something really controversial that I think will make people mad. But you know what? I don't care because we have this new 10-minute timeout rule. So if anyone says anything that annoys me, I'm just going to time them out. That's right. We're going full dictatorship. All right. I'm going to find the One Piece. Bro, you're like not on the team. Like, I get that you're having fun in the stream because you're watching a stream where the streamer isn't just telling you to be mad at like minorities or whatever, but like you're really cringy. And no one here wants to associate with you. Could you come back in like a couple days and maybe change and reform and be someone cool? You have to understand, like, chatters reflect on the streamer, and you can't be someone that chats in my chat that cringy. Like, you can't be that cringy because it just makes me look cringy. So, like, if you could de-cringe, sort out whatever's going on with your ex-wife or whatever, and your boat, and then come back, that would be good. All right. He ate the dum-dum fruit. Shut up. It's not even a good joke, you fucking idiot. All right. I'm going to say something very controversial. And by very controversial, I mean not controversial at all, but I feel like I'm going to get heat for it anyway, so let's go. I feel like I prefer this type of American over the type of chatter chud that we just got 2 seconds ago. I know people are clowning on her for this, but I actually like this clip, like, I don't know. It made me feel warm and fuzzy inside because of the reaction to the not ignorance, but like her reaction to her realization of her ignorance.
Where are you from?
Let me read the caption really fast. Yona quickly apologized to her Ukrainian Uber driver for making him uncomfortable after she asked him if Ukraine is in Russia, only to later find out that Ukraine and Russia are at war.
Where are you from?
I'm Ukrainian.
Oh, nice. Like London?
No, I'm Ukrainian, from Ukraine.
Oh, I don't really know my geography.
Ukraine is like Central Europe.
Oh. Russia, like kind of like.
Can I also just say him saying Ukraine and then she said London? I don't know what she thought he said, but it was kind of given. I'm from. Can I just pull up the video actually?
So are you Chinese or Japanese?
I live in California last 20 years, but first come from Laos.
Huh?
Laos. We lay ocean.
The ocean? What ocean?
We are lay ocean. From Laos, stupid. It's a landlocked country in Southeast Asia. It's between Vietnam and Thailand, okay? Population 4.7 million.
So are you Chinese or Japanese?
So are you Chinese or Japanese?
Oh.
The ocean? The delivery on that line is so fucking good. The ocean? What ocean? And I just want to say it is giving that clip a little bit. Ukraine?
I don't really know my geography.
Ukrainian, from Ukraine.
Oh, I don't really know my geography.
Ukraine is like Central Europe.
Oh. Russia, like kind of like Russia?
Luckily, no.
Oh, no, okay.
Dude, that poor Uber driver. The poor Uber driver. The way that he said, luckily no. And then look at chat.
Dang, I don't know.
Girl, OMFG, girl, LMAO, Yona babes.
But yeah, I'm from America, though. Not that you asked. I'm just saying. Yeah. So how do you like it there? A lot? Is it hot?
I mean,
Is it
overall,
hot?
it's nice.
Is it hot? Oh, I love her. I'm afraid I love her.
Oh, they said they're at war. I did not know that. They're at war? I'm so sorry. I did not know that. I apologize.
Between Russia and Ukraine.
Yeah. Okay, I'm so sorry. I did not know that. I don't know any geography, and maybe I should educate myself. But yeah, no, I did not know. Whoops. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I feel so bad. I did not know that. That's so disrespectful of me. I apologize. No, I really didn't know that. I'm so sorry. No, I feel so bad because that's actually serious. But I'm so sorry.
Accepted.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I don't want to make you uncomfortable. I did not mean to say that.
No worries.
And that's what I mean when I say, like, I would rather have 100 ignorant Americans that realize, like, oh my God, like, I feel really bad, and have the introspection to recognize that, than even one person who knows, like, half a thing about half a thing, but doubles and triples down on the most fucking annoying shit ever. Like, there's a certain genuineness. Like, you can even hear, like, the Uber driver's, like, chuckling, and, like, he's like, oh, okay. Well, yeah, I guess the person that said, I'm American, but you didn't really ask, so I don't know why I said that. Like, she probably just didn't know. She probably just didn't know. Oh. This, like, I don't know. I saw this and it was, by the end of the clip, it was like, I felt happy by the end of the clip, okay? Wonderfully honest cadence to her. I know, right? That was pure ignorance. Yeah. She didn't know which ocean. She just said, what ocean? I don't know what ocean. Oh. Confident ignorance is the worst. Yeah. A good heart and willing to learn versus a chud that refuses to open their eyes. Exactly. Also seems like a nice person in general from the review clips I've seen. Man, I can't imagine. That's like, and realistically, it's like, everyone is going to have moments where you say things and you don't realize, like, you can't say that. Like, I straight up did not know that British people, I did not know that the word that they use to describe Pakistani people, I did not know that that was a slur. It was like years ago and I had said that, and then everyone in chat was like, hello? Hello? And I'm like, what? Like, I don't understand. It's like shortening something the way that you would shorten, like, oh, like, I'm Arab, or like my Afghani friend or whatever. And it's like, it's a slur. It's a slur. And I'm like, oh, I did not know that. Oh, I did not know that. Because in the US, everyone just calls like, we have like stupid racism in the United States. Everyone who is any level of brown is either Mexican or a terrorist. Those are the type of, that's what we have in terms of racism against brown people in America. You have to be a very specialized racist to be anything else. So, yeah. The same. So Americans have, not that we don't have history. Sorry, let me make a more clarifying statement. If you aren't from the country where the slur is used often or regularly or whatever, how would you not how would you know, right? But like, I feel like if you're American, you probably know of the shortening for Japanese people as a slur, because we've had internment camps in the U.S. and the history with like Pearl Harbor and then the racism against Japanese people. So that's like, I feel like everybody knows that, right? But I feel like against any, like, if you are some type of South Asian, you're not going to get like a specialized South Asian slur, right? You're just going to get generally like terrorist or like I don't know if I can say it, but like the slur with towel in the name. That's it. You're not getting more specific than that. That's what you're gonna get. But Sunday slur day. No. No. We're not doing that. We're not doing that one. Stop. What do you mean, like if they're Laotian? Laotian. Vietnamese are called the same slur for Koreans. I mean, it's literally like, how many clips are there of racist, bigoted Americans walking up to random Koreans and saying, get your Kung Flu Panda out. No, sorry, not panda. Sorry. I was thinking of Kung Fu Panda. Kung Flu Pandemic COVID out of here. It's like, that person's Korean, you fucking moron. You're not even being the right type of racist, idiot. People were shoving old Asian people. It's like, what the again, American racism and bigotry is just so, it's like the lazy, truly, we are the world's laziest country. It's the laziest type of bigotry. Oh my god, dude. Wait, you just reminded me of the fucking Tom Cotton clip. Are you a member of the CCP? Sir, I am Singaporean.
So, you said today, as you often say, that you live in Singapore. Of what nation are you a citizen?
Singapore.
Are you a citizen of any other nation?
No, Senator.
Have you ever applied?
So, are you Chinese or Japanese?
For Chinese citizenship?
Senator, I served my nation in Singapore. No, I did not.
Do you have a Singaporean passport?
Yes, and I served my military for two and a half years in Singapore.
Do you have any other passports from any other nations?
No, Senator.
Your wife is an American citizen. Your children are American citizens.
That's correct.
Have you ever applied for American citizenship?
No, not yet.
Okay. Have you ever been a member of the Chinese Communist Party?
Senator, I'm Singaporean. No.
Are you fucking kidding me? Bro just explained to you he's Singaporean. He's from Singapore. He's not Chinese. He hasn't applied for Chinese citizenship. What do you mean? Have you ever been a member of the Chinese Communist Party? Hello? He just told you he's not Chinese. He's like, Singapore, where is that? In China? Are you Chinese or are you Japanese?
No.
Have you ever been associated or affiliated with the Chinese Communist Party?
No, Senator. Again, I'm Singaporean.
So.
I can't. Do you guys see what I mean? Where I'm like, it's almost heartwarming to see American ignorance that is just ignorance, where it's just like, oh my God, I just did not know. I'm sorry. I should really like learn more about geography and just like the world. Like, I'm so sorry. Like, I don't No, because like that's serious and stuff, and I didn't want to make you uncomfortable, and I don't want to be disrespectful. I'm sorry. Versus like whatever the fuck this is, like, sorry, you Chinese or Japanese? Hmm? Senator, I'm Singaporean and I'm a shipping magnate. Senator, which branch of the YMCA are you a part of? Ah, god damn, dude. Also, someone linked this earlier, and sometimes I'll click on links in chat, but I don't click on the user card, so I don't remember who linked it. And this has been on my other monitor for like 5 minutes now. Who the fuck linked this? Hillary was doing anything but campaigning in Wisconsin. Who linked this? Which one of you did that? Banned. All of you. All of you banned. Banned. I saw something funny. All right. We maybe, if I'm feeling particularly masochistic today, we'll watch the whole thing. But I saw this clip and it kind of killed me. Absolute crash out for Musk after he's presented with the reality that many, many people fucking hate him. Elon Musk is very similar, by the way, to J.K. Rowling, where all he had to do was just not speak. Just like shut the fuck up. And people would have liked him forever. Because I remember people really liked him back in the day. Remember when he fucking showed up in the fucking Iron Man movie? I hated him because the fucking Hyperloop shit was a scam. And I looked into this and I was like, wait, this is a fucking scam. This isn't public transport, you fucking lying sack of shit. Fuck you. I hate you. I fucking hate you. I've always loved trains, though. And then, like, everything else, not came out about him, but, like, everything else about him became more obvious to people, I think. And now it's like, I feel like his image has declined so severely in the past, like, decade. More proof transphobia is brain rot. It's so, not to get too stun-locked, but, like, transphobia is so bizarre. It's just so weird. Like, you guys see this stupid fucking meme? Oh my god, dude. Does anyone have, like, a glass of lava I could drink? Please. That moment you realize maybe you shouldn't vote for a Democrat. I have here's the thing. I would like to say that I have so many questions, but I kind of also don't have so many questions. But if I can be frank, I guess. My name's Frank now. I guess I'm trans now. I am trans. I'm Frank now. Is the POV supposed to be this guy? Is he the one realizing in this moment? Or is it someone else looking in that's realizing? Because isn't this what you guys... Also, I just realized it's fucking Rob Schneider. Oh my god, dude. Stop! You guys are the ones that want trans women to use the men's restroom. Hello? So, what do you mean? This is what you guys were asking for this. Also, can I just say, like, this is why I hate conservative humor, and it's because conservative humor, the POV would be lower if it was Rob Schneider. The thing that I hate, I'm going to pretend like I didn't read that. The thing that I hate about conservatives is that their comedy is just not based in reality. And so they make jokes about things that just don't happen. Like, you guys remember all of like the litter box and school stuff? It's just not funny when the thing isn't happening. Like, I feel like comedy has to be based a little bit in reality for it to be funny. That's why the jokes about like trans women pick one of 3 names and like one of them is like Lilith or whatever. Like, those are, I think those can be funny because they're based like at least a little bit in reality. Because I think when you're thinking of like a name, you're like, ooh, let's go fun with it. And then it's like, okay, all right, let's reel it back just a little bit, just a little. Come back, all right? Or like the jokes about like Amazon fashion. Like, the only way that you can actually clock someone is based on whether or not it looks like their entire wardrobe was purchased off of Amazon. It's like, I think that those can be kind of funny. I think those are, because they're at least a little bit built in reality. They're sort of built in reality, right? It's not even funny because like there's not even like, trans people are using stalls because they don't want to be harassed. So it's not even like based in reality. It's just like, it's just annoying. Rob Schneider, friend of the H3 show. Shut up. I don't even stop. The other thing, isn't what conservatives want is to force trans women into the men's bathroom? Yeah. But the other thing too is like, if it's not about that, because you guys say you want trans women to go to the men's restroom. So this would be the opposite. This would be voting for a Republican. This is what you get for voting for a Republican. If it's not that, is it like a person of color is in the bathroom? Is it that meme of like forced diversity? Is this what they're memeing about? One sec, I have the image. Maybe it's this? You guys see this tweet? Do whites even exist anymore in the minds of corporations? All is well. And it's like 10 stick figures. And then the next image is forced diversity. And it's like 1 brown person. And the next one says white genocide. And it's like 2 brown people. One chatter said, I'm trans and 3 of my trans friends chose Lilith. It's part of the trans discovery starter deck. I get it. I understand. I totally 100% I do. Just like thigh highs are part of like, I feel like thigh highs are just part of like experiencing being a woman. You're like, I should do this. And then you're like, okay, time and place. It's just, cis women got their chance to experience it when they were younger. So they got to get the cringe out of the way early. I had a tie phase chat where I was like, I need to wear ties. It was a rough time growing up with Y2K fashion, and not the cute Y2K fashion, the ugly Y2K fashion. Okay? The skirts with jeans and a tie for some godforsaken fucking reason. And then you grow up and you're like, what the fuck was I thinking? Avril Lavigne style? Yeah. And I know maybe you guys are thinking of something cute. It was not cute. It was not cute. Okay? Real Y2K fashion was ugly. Sorry, most real Y2K fashion was really ugly. There's like this comeback of Y2K fashion, but it's just the cute parts of it. Let me see if I can find like any good photos. The layered shirts, so much layering, dude. Like, people think of Y2K fashion and then they think of like this. Let me pull up some photos. I think in their minds they imagine they only remember the really cute things or the really cute outfits. which is like baby tees and low-rise jeans. But the reality is there was a lot of things that were all over the place. Okay? All right, a lot of them were not good. A lot of them were nasty outfits. And it was tough. It was tough out there. All right. I'm trying to find, oh my God, dude, what a rough era. Hold up. Wait. There's like one iconic one that I always think of. Oh my God. Like, who let Anne Hathaway dress this way? It's giving nothing. It's giving absolutely nothing. Oh my God. This is what I talk about. This is what I mean when I say, like, you guys don't understand. Some of the fits back then were bad. Where is she going? Where are you going with this outfit? Hold up. This was another one that was bad. What's the theme? What's the theme? What is the theme? Oh my God. Oh my God, dude. I remember everyone looked like this growing up. Why so much layering? Why? Did we wear so many layers? So many layers. So many layers. Skirts on top of jeans with like 3 shirts. Why? So many layers. Oh my God. Climate change didn't hit so hard yet, okay? I just can't. Long sleeve over short sleeve over long sleeve. It was just not good. It was rough. It was rough. It was rough. Yeah. We try not to talk about this era too hard. This was this is such a crazy outfit. This is such a crazy fit. This was so popular, dude. The long sleeve shirt and then you wear like a spaghetti strap on top. Final Fantasy X had a generational impact. Bedroom slippers. Flamingo scarf or the feather boa. Sleeping mask for some reason and some jeans. It's like 90% of the outfit looks super comfortable. And then there's fucking jeans there. It's like, why? Anyways, yeah. And don't get me wrong, we did get some like banger outfits back in the day. There were a couple that ate. There were a couple that really ate. But most of them were not most of them, but a lot of them were really fucking uggo. A lot of them were just very like, what is this? Why the jeans? Why the hat and why the jeans? The capris rolled up for the boots. Why the jeans? I don't understand. And be wearing the most fuck-ass outfit in an RPG for the buffs. Don't forget men, okay? Dude, men's outfits were like... The thing that sucks, people really escaped this trend, okay? First of all, this was the only way to dress as a cool white boy. This was it. Okay? That was it. This was the only way. If you dressed like this, you were cool. If you didn't dress like this, or you, rather more specifically, you weren't white, or you didn't subscribe to white culture, everyone else dressed like this. The baggiest clothes. I gotta say, I don't mean to be the world's biggest hater about this thing, but I'm gonna be the world's biggest hater. Thank fucking God, the trend of boxers showing is gone. Kids with their whole fucking ass out, like the entire, like the jeans are under the ass, and then you just see boxers. It's like, why? I hated it. I fucking hated it. That's regional. I mean, I don't know. Maybe. That was so bad. The sagging, that was like 2010s, I would say. That was towards the 2010s. But that was, sagging was so cringy, dude. Sagging was so cringy. I hated it. It was so, I feel bad for the teachers back in the day because they must have been like, why? And like, I understand like mild sagging because I kind of like, I almost kind of get the appeal because it's kind of like whale tail. It's kind of like, oh, you don't take yourself too seriously. You don't care. Right? I feel like it's just the female equivalent of like low rise, but you can see like the straps or whatever. I think I understand it like this much. I kind of get it. The male tail. But this is the shit that I couldn't understand. Even when it was happening around me, I was like, why? Why? Why are you dressed like this? What the fuck? What the fuck? Who is this for? Why? And the best, all of them were wearing belts. It was so funny. You got to wear 3 belts and then let the pants sag past your ass. This would be so hard to walk into. I know. It's that. It had to be. It had to be. And then we had like, do you guys remember hipster fashion immediately after that? And everyone was wearing fucking chinos. That was also bad. I like how men decided to go fully in the other direction. They're like, pants are way too big and it bothers me. Time to go, pants are way too fucking small. Hipster leggings on men were so ugly. Oh my God. Everyone was wearing plaid. That was so ugly. That was so ugly. And just so you guys know, it's okay because I also engaged in ugly fashion trends. I had a pair of Uggs at one point. I was repping moccasins. I was there, okay? It was tough. It was tough. All right. They were tough times, man. They were tough times. I wonder if I have. Hold up, chat. Let me check the vault really fast. Ah. One moment. Tell me why I had a fucking beer belly at like 8. Sorry, I'm like trying to see if I have any photos of me as like a teenager with like the ugly, atrocious fits. I might have destroyed all of those photos forever, permanently. No, I don't think so. I think they're gone, chat. Tough. All right. All right. Yeah, I know I have this one really cursed photo of like me with like the hat. I don't know what style of hat this is. Get this shit off the screen. No, not this. This, I had one of these, and I had a, it was so, oh my god, it was so cringy. I can imagine the photo, I remember it. And of course, in all these photos, like, straight hair was really popular, like, super straight hair. So I'm just, like, greasy as fuck. Like, I don't know why, like, a lot of the photos I took, or that were taken of me, I'm just, like, greasy and sweaty in all the photos. But I had the fucking cap, I had a, a shirt, like a t-shirt, because every outfit needed a t-shirt under it. And then a vest and a tie. And then some fucking ugly jeans. It was such a brutal. I can't believe kids were allowed to leave their house. It was bad. It was not good. It was rough times. Let's close all this shit. Why did I bring this up? I don't even remember why I brought this up. Moving on. Don't forget using the straightener when your hair was still wet. Yeah. What's wrong with plaid? Well, it just became like people's entire personality, you know? If you've watched any of like Queer Eye, you'll know like one of the things that they insult people for is, okay, listen. We're not going to tell you to go back in the closet, but you don't need a gay flag in every room, okay? You have a personality outside of that, and we're here to help you, okay? So let's take this off, and why don't you put something you like other than that, okay? That's the same idea. It's like, there's nothing wrong with plaid, but when every shirt in your closet is plaid, reevaluate, okay? Reevaluate. Okay. Why did I don't remember why I brought this up. I don't even remember why I brought this up. Something about fashion or something. Moving on. Yeah, I don't understand. I don't understand that. We are. Ew. Don't send me that. This aesthetic, stop. Don't send me that stuff. You just like traumatized me. I do think if you spoke to the average conservative, like the actual bigoted conservatives, you'll find that they just don't want to deal. Like they're just like really soft snowflakes, and they don't want to deal with people that they don't understand. It's really simple for them. It's like, I don't understand trans people, therefore I'm scared and I don't want to see it. It's like, I'm going to be honest with you guys. The people who do crazy body mod stuff, I don't understand. Tattoos? I understand. Piercings? I understand. Even like this split tongue? I understand, because that's kind of cool. But the straight up, like, the people who get like fake horns, for example, or like get like a lot of face tattoos, or like change like this stuff. The people who change their nose to make it look like it's like their skull or whatever, I don't understand. Eye tattoos, I don't understand. But it's not for me to understand. Who cares whether or not I understand it? It's their fucking free will. They're allowed to do what they want with their fucking body. Hello? I don't need to understand it. Who cares if I understand it? Like, literally, like, it's... Are they making me get eye tattoos? No. Okay. Then why would I care? All right, cool. Sounds good. Sure. Anything else? Would you snore more or less with this? Oh, I don't fucking... Probably less, right? Because you have way more room? But maybe like, I don't know enough about noses, I guess. But that's how I feel about almost everything else. It's like, you're an adult. You can make your own decisions. I don't have to understand it. I don't even have to like it. It doesn't matter. It kind of doesn't matter if I don't like it. I don't really like it when Jehovah's Witnesses show up at my door. And they're allowed to do that. I don't see why someone can't get a tattoo if they want a tattoo. Like, what? Who gives a shit? I don't, like, it's... But Denims, what if I'm bored and I have nothing better to do but to be mad about other people's personal choices? And this is, like, the point that I'm taking, like, I think for conservatives, they're like, they genuinely are. Have you guys seen the post where they'll like show like someone before and after or something, like 2020, 2022 or something like that? And it'll be like the before, they have like brown hair, no tattoos, no piercings. And then like 2022, they have like green hair and like a piercing. And they're like, this is disgusting. How could this happen? It's like, you know, not everything in the world needs to be catered to you, right? You know that, right? The world, other people don't owe you anything. Like a random stranger that walks down the street doesn't owe you anything. And it just like bothers them. It bothers them that there are people that don't agree with their worldview. And I do feel like part of it is just like a lack of exposure to any culture at all. Because I feel like I didn't care about this stuff, and I'm sure part of it has to do, or sorry, I'm sure a lot of it has to do with the fact that when you grow up in New York and you just take the subway every day, you just see the craziest shit every day. There'll be like a clown speaking some language, I don't know, doing backflips in the fucking train to like some, I don't know, rap music or something. I don't know, like, or some samba, and they're doing fucking backflips, and you're like, oh, it's 8 a.m. Okay? It's 8 a.m. Please. For fuck's sake, it's way too early for this shit. Can you swing over there and less loud? Thank you. Okay. Puts on earbuds. Like, you just see so, like, you guys know that photo of, like, it's like a woman in, like, heels, and then it's like a woman in a hijab. It's like this very iconic image. I feel like that a lot of people will post and be like, this is the future liberals want. Do you guys know what? Here it is. Oh, it's a photo of a drag queen next to a woman in a hijab. This one. Where it's like, no, in New York and lots of other places, New York is not unique in this way. But I think because New York has such a diverse population, because you take the train every day, you just see stuff every day that you wouldn't see when you're like taking your fucking car in your car cell life. Where you just see stuff like this every day, so you just stop giving a fuck. You just don't give enough of a fuck. As long as you don't fucking touch me, we won't have a problem. We won't have a problem. If you fucking touch me, we're gonna have a fucking problem. Other than that, like, I don't care. Do whatever the fuck you want. I don't give a shit. I have to see crazy shit every day. Like, I don't care. This feels like a joke about woke. Yo, is that person right next to that other person? And I do think that, like, a lot of, and I don't mean to be like, this is really not an attempt to be rude. I think a lot of conservatives just like haven't experienced enough diversity. So they don't understand, like, it's really not a big deal. People are different from you, and that's what makes life interesting. Why would you want every single person to be exactly the same? That's fucking boring. Are you kidding me? oh, look, everyone has exactly the same taste in clothes and exactly the same taste in hair and exactly the same taste in food. Wow, so exciting. But I'm the grayest and the blobbiest. It's so boring. It's just so, I don't get it. And I think a lot of it's like, but I'm uncomfortable because these people are different from me and it makes me scared and I don't understand it. And it's like, not everything's for you to understand, man. Dude, we still don't understand, like, living. We don't understand consciousness. Like, who cares? Like, literally, who cares? I used to work in WeHo and I had a coworker who would get pissed about every single person who came in that wasn't boring as fuck. It's like, okay. So? Boring. Weren't we supposed to be getting the Musk interview? Well, we were just about to do that, yes. Yeah, I just wanted to, I forgot why. Oh yeah, transphobia rots your brain. Finally, the stunlock is over. Let's begin.
I mean, some people do loathe you.
Yes, some people do.
But do you understand why? Do you think what you're doing is helpful for Western democracy?
Maybe some people do loathe me. And that's probably true. I don't care. But the fact that, as you pointed out, 250 million people follow me is that I think a lot more people actually like me than don't. And I think a lot more people hate you and the media more than you realize. Do you realize the media is despised? Do you realize that journalists, the view of journalists is like, it's like a favorable view of journalists is like 15%.
Yeah, I do know that in the United States.
You know, no, I'm not owned. Don't put it in the paper that I'm owned. I'm not owned. I'm. Listen, okay. I'm not drinking into a corn cob, and I'm not mad. Can I say really fast, just really quickly and really fast here, for just a brief moment? Does he not know that there's a difference between an institution not being respected or trusted and a person not being liked? I don't like Democrats. I love Mamdani. I think that the institution of Democrats that institution is generally corrupt. I think the DNC is generally corrupt, and that politicians in general, both Democrat and Republican, don't care about the interests of the people. They care about lining their pockets and making money and, you know, having the best, most outperforming portfolio. But that doesn't mean I feel that way about every individual. I still am judging every individual individually. I don't have like, it's not that I don't like it's not that like I hate everyone that works at Tesla. In fact, I'm sure that there are a lot of engineers that work at Tesla that do great work, or there's lots of engineers that work at SpaceX that do great work, that actually just really love physics, okay? Or whatever the fuck. But that doesn't mean anything about Elon. Like, hating an individual is a very different thing than hating an institution that someone might belong to. You can hate Amazon and not hate every single Twitch streamer. What? She's saying, yeah, okay, well, sure, the institution of journalism has been eroded, at least in part due to fake news, Donald Trump. But that is different from people's dislike of you personally for your decisions. Your decisions are reflecting on you. Other people's decisions in my field are reflecting on me, sometimes unfairly.
So the shoe is on the other foot. They hate you.
How the turntables, one might say. And actually, I'm correct. And actually, no, you. And I'm rubber and you're glue. Wait, sorry, those were too many bars. He wouldn't spit out that crazy.
They hate you far more than they hate me.
I think there is certainly a loss of trust in journalism. I think in part, there have been mistakes by journalists and journalism. I totally acknowledge that. But I also think that the kind of polarized environment, particularly on social media, fostered by the kinds of things you are pushing on X, actually helps this. makes it worse.
I don't think so.
Incredible rebuttal.
I think you're the problem, the media. And speaking of loathing, you're loathed far more than I am.
We're right back to know you. All right. Anything else?
And you don't seem to even realize that.
I think very few people know who I am relative to you, so I don't think I play in the same game.
The media collectively. So
again, the distinction between being disliked because of your actions that reflect on you as a person and your belief system is very different than belonging to an institution that is engaged in a lot of negative behavior over the past however many years, but not necessarily being representative of that. When people say they hate Hollywood, they don't mean they hate every single person who has ever worked on a Hollywood set, that has ever been a PA, that's ever been an actress, that's ever been an actor. That's not what they mean. They mean they don't like what Hollywood stands for, the horrible things that have happened in Hollywood, the people who've been exploited in Hollywood. People hate you, Elon, for the things that you have done. There's no, like, escape on that.
I mean, you're hated.
The smirk, dude. The smug. All right, I found it. This is such a crazy thumbnail, by the way. Elon Musk on Europe. Elon Musk, I'm not racist. You know someone isn't racist when they have to tell you I'm not racist. Dude. Can I tell you guys something? All right, what you guys need to know about me, all right, is that I don't personally feel any type of way when people are fucking morons in my vicinity. And I unfortunately have the brainworm that makes me very entertained instead of offended. So when someone says something really stupid, it ends up being way more funny than anything else. So I like to have a good time. So sometimes when I'm at like social events or I'm outside talking to the stranger of the world, God forbid, it's like it's an event with a lot of creators in it. I'll just be like, oh, I just do like political streams. And sometimes people will get like really nervous. They're like, oh, okay. Really? Yeah. I mean, I just want you to know, like, I'm not like sexist or anything like that. And I'm like, I didn't think you were. No, I didn't. And then I like to see how far I can take it because it's a lot of fun. It's so much fun, so it's almost a little mean. But then I like to be like, no, I agree. And then I try to think of like whatever is the most right-wing opinion I can think of that they might agree with. Like I might say something very lukewarm that means absolutely nothing, but is a good like vice signal. So I might be like, I mean, I don't personally like care about, you know, because this is a genuine opinion I have. I don't really care about how necessarily someone acts. I care a lot more about what someone does publicly and how they act publicly and whether or not they improve the environment online or whether they degrade the environment online than whether or not they've said something stupid in the past privately. I just don't really care. I care a lot more about someone doing good with their platform today in the now. And that's what they've stood for forever. So I might share something like that or something along those lines or whatever. And sometimes people will get a little comfortable and they'll be like, oh, yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. And like, after all, like, why should we have so many immigrants in our country? And I'm like, that's crazy that it took one sentence from me to get you to say that. That's insane. Holy shit, dude. Why did you go straight to that point with so little pushback? Oh, bless you. Oh, God bless you, dude. And that's what I think of whenever people say like, I'm not racist, I'm not sexist. It's like, I know it would take you 2 sentences. It would take me to do, you would immediately fold on any position within 2 minutes and say how you actually feel with like the right sentence.
You support not just the populist right, but the far right. In fact, very fringe parties in some countries.
No, I support the normal people.
Okay.
What do you call a...
Oh yeah, another good example is like, I think you should treat other people with respect. And I think this is a policy that we hold for people in our lives, in our immediate lives, and I think an extension of, I think leftist values are basically just suggesting you should push that empathy for everyone else as well, right? So like, I don't think you I don't care, or like, how do I explain this? It makes me actually annoyed when I'm talking to someone and they say, oh, thank God you don't like astrology and you're not like one of those women. Like, that makes me mad. Like, I actually feel irritated when someone says that. Like, it's actually annoying. Versus if someone says like the R word, I don't care. I think it's indicative of your character a little bit, but I don't really care. Like, I don't feel the emotion. I just think you shouldn't say it because it harms other people and other people feel that way about it. Right? At this point, I think you shouldn't say it because it's just really cringy vice signaling. But when we're talking just about emotionally, I don't feel anything when I hear it. Too much time on the internet, I think, for me, and too many competitive games. So I've just heard it so many times that it's like, it's such a meaningless word and all the people who use it are just also fucking stupid. So I don't really care. Too much league, yeah. And in 2026, if you say it on the internet as like a content creator and you're like, ooh, I'm gonna say it, it's like, what are you, fucking 12, dude? Grow up. Oh my God. It's a little cringy. Oh, I'm so bad. Okay, then if you're so bad, say the N-word then. Oh, you won't do that because you're not. Because you're just a baby little bitch and you want to be safe about it. But you want to pretend like you're not being safe. Okay, grow up. But besides that, what was I saying? It is funny because if you talk to someone and you're like, oh, I don't really care. I just, I think in general, it's not a bad idea to like, not use certain words if you feel like they cause a lot of harm to other people. I think that's like a good principle to have. Right? I think that's a generally good principle to have, that maybe even if I don't feel the personal harm from it, or I don't feel like the personal negative emotion from it, it doesn't matter because I know the context and I know how that harm looks. And I'm like, yeah, okay, well, that's fair. I feel that. It's crazy that if you tell someone that, they'll just start dropping slurs sometimes. They'll be like, dude, true. And I say this and this and this and this. And you're like, what? Why did you do that? Oh, okay. So this chatter. Words can't cause harm. Then say the N-word right now. Then go outside and say the N-word. LMAO, how is that an argument? If they're not harmful, and they don't insult anyone, and it doesn't cause any harm in any way, shape, or form, then you definitely don't restrict yourself from saying bad words, right? You say everything you want to say whenever you want to say it, right? Because it doesn't cause harm. I say words when they are required, question mark. Are you in a lot of situations where slurs are required? Why would I go outside and... Okay, sorry, you seem like you're a little slow. Let me explain to you. It doesn't matter whether or not the words cause harm. We're talking about whether or not it's appropriate to engage in behavior that makes you look like a freak. You just said that they cause harm. I said it doesn't matter whether they cause harm. It doesn't matter if we agree whether they cause harm. Because we both agree that you wouldn't say certain things or do certain things because it proves that you're a social freak. Do you understand? Do you understand the concept of multiple reasons for something? Do you understand how that works? Like if I asked you, do you want pepperoni pizza? And then you said, oh, I'm lactose intolerant. And I don't really like pepperoni. I'd be like, but you just said you were lactose intolerant. How can it be both? What do you mean there are two reasons that you wouldn't want pepperoni pizza? I don't understand how that works. Things only have one reason. Even if we don't disagree about harm, bringing it up is a stupid fucking point because we both agree you don't do things that lower your, I don't want to say social value, but everyone engages in social niceties. Otherwise, why not scratch your balls in public whenever you feel like it? Go to a funeral and just start like saying, boo, get off this stage. Boring. Because we all agree to engage in social niceties. Talking in circles. I mean, I guess that's how every conversation goes for you with other people when you don't understand what's happening. All you did was insult. I mean, again, I explained everything. You missed it because you weren't paying attention or because you might be too stupid to understand. Ha, whatever you say. It's okay, buddy. It's okay. Denims, you started the stream by saying you weren't going to get stunlocked today. No, I said I don't want to get stunlocked. And I explained it later. I don't want to get stunlocked on like talking to leftists. Making fun of conservatives is never getting stunlocked. Okay, that's just fun. Okay. That's just fun. Why would I engage with someone insulting me? You're still typing, aren't you, bitch? You know what engagement is? You're still going. Keep typing, ho. Yeah, you can't actually discuss anything. No, I explained it to you. Do you need me to explain it again? It doesn't matter whether words cause harm because that point is moot because there are other reasons to not engage in negative social behavior. So now you can't engage? Tough. That's tough. I didn't insult you ever. Do you really want me to scroll up? You don't even remember the first message you sent in here. Also, sorry, this is so funny. Who said I was conservative? Who said I was conservative? Mm-hmm. To be fair, many in leftist spaces act like this. No. Generally in leftist spaces, you don't see this argument. How does it? What words don't cause harm? It's not like a leftist space idea. It's just not. Yeah, this is a 14-year-old. Yeah, it is. It's sad. That's okay. No, he's about to tell us that he's a captain on a boat with 3 employees after he worked 15 years as a line cook. Oh, God. See, when I was talking about not engaging with certain people, this is what I meant. Then why do you watch Kyle? All right. The reason you just got banned, sir, I know you're going to type a ban request or a ban appeal that's not going to respond to anything I'm about to say right now. But the reason you just got banned is for being annoying, first and foremost. Second, I know your username and you only type annoying messages and they piss me off every time. And I don't know why I haven't banned you sooner because I fucking hate reading your chat messages. Third, we literally haven't watched Kyle in like a month. So I don't even know what you're like. You hallucinated something and you're bad faith and you're annoying. And that's why I'm going to ban you. That's fine, censor. I wasn't talking to you, dumbass. Keep up. Keep up. You're slow. Okay? Talking to a different chatter. You're still not banned, dumbass. Use your... How are you watching the stream and you don't see me pull someone else up? I'm still on the screen. Yeah, I pulled up someone else and banned them. What the fuck are you talking about? God. To these people, it's harder to ban because it's like, they just keep giving, bro. They just keep giving. They're on like 1,000 ping, bro. They're on the other chatters are just fucking annoying, dude. The other chatters are just like, then why you like Kyle? Then why have you never experienced love? How about that? All right. Moving on. Let's watch the Musk thing, okay? Also, by the way, just to explain this point a little bit further, the idea that arguing whether or not words cause harm is such a stupid thing to argue because once you start at that, I've never seen someone be pushed off of that position. It's such a strong value that certain people hold that the moment they say that, it's just like not worth like you pick and choose your battles. And I feel like the type of person that leads with words don't cause harm, they are so far gone on that position. Trying to push them off that position is just a waste of time. That it's much better to talk about how you just engage in social niceties all of the time. And this is one example of engaging in social niceties, right? But look at, like, here's him explaining it, but in more words when it applies to him. Why would I engage with someone insulting me? Oh, so you're saying words are causing harm. Oh, so you're saying delivery does matter. Shocking. Isn't that shocking, guys? Isn't it shocking that words do matter? And they do, and delivery does matter, but it only matters when it's happening to me, not when it's happening to you. It's like, they don't even believe this. They don't even believe this. They just want to pretend like they believe this. So it's just, it's just cringy. It's just cringy. But anyways, moving on. Let's watch the Musk video. Let's go, lock in.
You support not just the populist right, but the far right. In fact, very fringe parties in some countries.
No, I support the normal people.
Okay.
What do you call the far right? Falsely.
You think as the normal person? Okay.
Yes. Literally, you could go back 10 or 15 years, and these policies were completely normal. In fact, one of the tricks that I think is funny. One thing that's quite funny is to like take a speech from Obama and Hillary, and then go to someone and say, who's sort of on the sort of what I call the lunatic left, and say, what do you think of the speech by Trump? Like, oh wow, he's the worst person ever. Actually, that was a speech by Obama, or actually, that was a speech by Hillary.
I agree. No, I agree that the center of gravity.
Why, dude? No. I hate lib interviews. Why agree with such a stupid fucking point? Can I show you guys? There was this like post that I saw the other day. Trying to see if I can. There's a post I saw the other day and it was like talking about how this idea that everything else has just become too liberal and too leftist. It's just so nonsensical. It's just so like go back. Like, for example, it's not our fault that you guys decided you want to make everything woke and diverse. Huh? Like, straight up, go and watch stuff from like the very early 2000s or like the very late 90s. That shit was fucking diverse, man. This like forced diversity nonsense. No. This like woke, go broke. No. Okay, it's just some things fail because they're made poorly and some things don't. And it doesn't like non-woke things fail all the time. And it's like, well, you guys are the ones that are constantly pushing the bounds. And this didn't used to happen. It's like, Grok, what was the first interracial kiss on television and what was the response to it? Grok? Grok.
Country has shifted, certainly the Democratic Party shifted to the left, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about people like Rupert
Not
Lowe. I'm
fringe
talking
right,
about
please.
people
It's actually just normal people. It's just normal people. It's just normal people. And and here are the principles. And tell me which of these sound terrible. That we should have secure borders. That we should have safe cities. That we should have sensible spending. Which of those three are far right
Those
fringe?
three? No,
And I would like to just admonish you and.
I'd like to admonish you. Oh my God, dude. I can't believe I lost this post, man. Fuck.
The media for the absurd characterization of the far right. It is false and misleading and nonsense. Please keep this part in.
We'll keep all of this in, but let me
Don't cut this part.
Let me push back on that. Let me push back on that
because it is
you have
nonsense.
Elon, you have what is it? Close to 250 million followers on X.
Yeah, because
you say things like,
popular guy.
Quote, civil war in Britain is inevitable. Just a question
on the current
of when.
trends, yes.
Can I say this is giving the exact same vibe as the Tucker Carlson interview with Piers Morgan, where Tucker Carlson sounded so insane he made Piers Morgan sound reasonable. Where Tucker Carlson was like, yeah, you guys have like roving brown gangs raping women. It's so unsafe here. And Piers Morgan's like, huh? Are you good, man? Where exactly are you? This is a pretty safe place. I don't know are you smoking crack or something? Hunter Biden?
I mean, when were you last in the UK?
A few years ago.
Exactly. So I live there. I'm there the whole time. That is
Yeah,
nonsense.
you live in a cloistered existence.
No, I don't actually. And the numbers also disprove what you say.
What numbers?
All the numbers about crime. London is a much safer city than any city in the United States. Violent crime in the UK is not where you think it is. In fact, it's coming down. You have painted, and because you have so many followers, so many Americans believe it, a kind of view that Europe and the UK are kind of, overrun with terrifying Muslim immigrants. There's rape on every corner. There's a sort of civilizational destruction.
I haven't said any of those things. If you have
Me when I lie, dude. Me when I lie. He's literally signal boosted white genocide posts and said, looking into this, you have said the actual truth. And it's a post saying like, we need to do something about the brown people. They're doing 99% of the rapes in our country. It's like, okay. I don't even have to look into that to know that that doesn't sound fucking right.
Large and rapidly growing group of people whose beliefs are antithetical to Western beliefs. At some point,
I love this, like, and by love, I mean I fucking hate this abstract notion of Western beliefs to just mean anything that I want and anything that the people that don't want it don't want it. It's giving when Americans are like, look at this. This is beautiful European country. And it's like a French person. It's like a French person eating a baguette or something stupid. And it's like, yeah, show that to a British person. Be like, this is your culture. This is your heritage. This is your beautiful culture. And tell me tell me how they take it. Tell me what the different European countries would think if you accuse them, and I'm using that word intentionally, of being similar to their neighbors.
There will be a reckoning. They will try to implement their views, and those who oppose it will oppose it, and that's what you call civil war.
Okay, sorry. Going back for just like one brief moment, this is by far the thing that pisses me off the most about Republicans. We'll start at the very beginning again just for 1 second. Oh, I didn't mean to. This is the 6-minute interview. 1 second. This part.
You support not just the populist right, but the far right. In fact, very fringe parties in some countries.
No, I support the normal people.
Okay.
What do you call the far right? Falsely.
You think is the normal person. Okay.
Yes. Literally, you could go back 10 or 15 years, and these policies were completely normal. In fact, one of the tricks that I think is funny. One thing that's quite funny is to like take a speech from Obama and Hillary, and then go to someone and say, who's sort of on.
Can I just say, supporting the far right party in Germany and then saying, go back 100 years and you'll find that these positions were completely normal. Go back to Germany in the 1930s and I'll find that these positions were completely normal. First of all, I don't think you like the implications of that statement. Second, this notion of the lunatic left has pushed the Overton window far too much. Here's the 1956 Republican National Platform. 1. Provide federal assistance to low-income communities. 2. Protect Social Security. 3. Provide asylum for refugees. 4. Extend minimum wage. 5. Improve unemployment benefit system so it covers more people. 6. Strengthen labor laws so workers can more easily join a union. 7. Assure equal pay for equal work regardless of sex. You know, our positions haven't changed at all. Guy whose positions have changed completely. Oh God, I gotta sneeze. Wait, I want the full interview. Oh my God. Phew. Sorry. Dude, the sneeze tickle is so bad. Oh, Jesus Christ. What was I pulling up? 1 second. Elon Musk. Oh, they broke it up into chunks for some reason? Boo. All right, back to where we were.
Beliefs are antithetical to Western beliefs. At some point, there will be a reckoning. They will try to implement their views, and those who oppose it will oppose it, and that's what you call civil war. And obviously, this is the trend. And you absolutely do live in a cloistered existence. And if you'd like, we can go on a tour of Britain.
Sure.
And we
I'd
can go
be
on a
very
walking
happy
tour.
to come on a tour.
Is she not British?
Britain.
And you will see
you
for
come
yourself.
see my country that I live in all the time, and you haven't.
Oh yeah? This country you live in, that you're from, that you were born in? Let me give you a tour of what the city really looks like. Guy whose parents owned an emerald mine in South Africa. There's, like, it is really not lost on me. The billionaire, the Nepo baby billionaire, telling other people they live a cloistered existence and that they just need to see. They just need to see the city they live in, that they actually live in. Again, it's giving the exact same thing as conservatives talking about how dangerous New York is. It's like, no, not. No, not really. No, I've lived there. It's really not. Some areas are, but that's the case everywhere. Go to any country, and there are some areas that are more dangerous. It's not like New York is just this crime-ridden city. This isn't like the 80s. It's pretty safe. And then you check the stats, and considering the 8 million people, the stats for crime are so unbelievably low per capita. And it's like, yeah, no. No. Again, at peak, like, gang violence between the cops, the gang that was the cops, and then the mafia, and then all other gangs. Yeah, 70s and 80s were not so good. But, like, 2020s? Honestly, 2010s? 2000s? Pretty safe. Go to, like, most of these major cities, and they're pretty safe.
Yes, I've been there literally 100 times.
But when was the last time?
Literally a few years ago.
You know why
I've been there 100 times. Literally, I was there a few years ago. I cannot. Is this woman-splaining or is this Britain-splaining? How much of an egotistical dumb fuck do you have to be to explain to someone? You're explaining to someone who lives in the country that they were born in that they just haven't seen their country. With the Emerald Mine father, dude. What the fuck?
Exercises me, because you have really shaped opinion about the UK, and so many American.
I've had folks tell me Minneapolis is a war zone, and I literally live 3 blocks away from Alex Preddy was murdered. When the pigs aren't causing issues, my neighborhood is very quiet and safe. Yeah. I mean, again, it's like the same in any major city. It's like, I don't know. There are like a couple neighborhoods that are maybe a little worse. And then like 99% of the city is very safe. It's just so bizarre.
I come across and I have conversations with, and they'll be, and I just.
Well, I went to LA a couple times in 2019 for work, and my conservative friends were warning me about how bad it was. It felt like a regular big city, and certain sections felt like my smaller Midwest town. The only thing that's bad in LA is the fucking traffic and the dry ass fucking heat.
I had one the other day along the order of, oh, London's such a dangerous place. How can you know? There are sort of grooming gangs everywhere. There's violence everywhere. This is a picture that people get from things that you post or that are posted on X. And for example, you're posting for, what was it, 48 hours of Citizen Vigilante. That film, which,
yes,
paints a dystopian. I've watched it.
Yes.
It was not fun. I watched it yesterday. It's not a very good movie. But it also paints a dystopian picture of Europe. And it glorifies vigilante violence. It glorifies the murdering of a Muslim immigrant family. I honestly think that it is irresponsible for you to put that up on X.
I think that it's a movie, and it's worth watching.
People say that you're a racist.
People think this guy is smart. People think this guy is smart. Hey, I think this movie that you're promoting is irresponsible because it paints a narrative that isn't true. But I think it's a movie and people should watch it. Oh, okay. One second.
What is the motivation for doing that? Are you fermenting?
My partner is she's half Indian, and and I have 4 children with her. One of them was named after a famous Indian physicist. So I would say I'm not racist, and also if you look at the people that are employed at my companies, you know, we have senior executives of all races. There's I don't think there's any racism there.
Are you anti-Muslim?
I hired a brown person. How can I be racist? I pay people who aren't white. I exploit brown and black people as much as I exploit white people. Well, maybe not as much, but I also exploit them. Huh? India, famously not racist country.
I'm against having if people are coming to a country.
So yes, let you guys hear the question again. She said, "Are you anti-Muslim?" Try and imagine what his answer would be if she said, "Are you anti-Christian or anti-Jewish or anti-Hindu or anti-Shinto?"
There's any racism there?
Are you anti-Muslim?
I'm against having if people are coming to a country with antithetical views. I am against that. I'm against that. You know, I'm against. I'm against rape and murder. I'm against
classic Muslim value. It says it right there in the Quran. Actually, the first words in the Quran are "You must murder, you must rape," a lot. It actually does. It says that. Yeah, you just need to go and find it. It says that actually. It says as much rape and murder as possible. Yeah. So it's in there. Also, he wanted to go to Epstein Island. I'm against murder and rape. Also, my buddy Epstein did not want me on his island. I just wanted to like see what was, you know.
Imposition of rules and laws that are contrary to what we've come to accept in the West. And I think it's a crying shame that the sort of traditional media like you don't recognize this.
Why should you be able to shape your...
Don't recognize this. Just as a reminder, the question was, are you anti-Muslim? You already lost if it took you this long to explain a yes or no answer. Well, I think you can have a long answer, but like he wouldn't. If someone said, are you anti-Shintoism? He would never respond that way. He would have said, I'm against anyone who feels like they need to change the country that they're coming into. If someone is Muslim, but they're okay with, you know, living within the American agenda or whatever the fuck. Yeah, that's obviously fine with me. But he doesn't want to say that because what he wants to say is he's anti-Muslim. All right, sorry. I'm getting a little heated. Also, I found the interview. 1 second. Because I want to watch the whole thing. Or as much of it as we can bear, all right?
Elon Musk, thank you so much for joining me on The Insider. Thank you for having us here at Tesla Giga. It is really hard to introduce you without using superlatives. I mean, you are doing, I think, more to build the future than literally anybody alive right now.
I'm doing a lot of building in general.
You're doing a lot of building?
Instinctive builder, I suppose.
Maybe it's a layup. Maybe it's a layup.
Like building things.
You are, but you're building, I mean,
you know, run around building things all day long.
You run around building a lot of things.
Yes.
You pioneered electric vehicles, you revolutionized space travel, you've got a cutting edge AI model now, humanoid robots. Can we start this conversation by you putting all of this together?
Yeah.
Tell me what the world's going to be like in, let's say, 10 years, if you succeed.
I always am tempted to pull up the Trump diatribe, where it's like, the rockets that go, sorry, the cars that go nowhere and the rockets that explode. He only lives off of government subsidies and government grants and handouts. If I told him to get down on one knee and kiss my shoe, he would do it.
10 years, so we're talking 2036.
Yep. Hopefully we'll both be around.
Hopefully, yes.
We can.
Probably. Most likely, we will be. It's hard to imagine the future where there's not an overwhelming amount of artificial intelligence. Meaning, like in 10 years, I would expect artificial intelligence to be far greater than the sum of human intelligence. Like, far greater. In fact, I think...
By the way, sorry, you know what? I can't even do it justice. I'm not even gonna try. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go to, oh, what the fuck is his name? The guy who's like, okay, AI, count to 100. Starts with an H. Orc. Hot. Why did I think Hork? Well, let's pull up something.
Hey, not much. Just here and ready to help. What's going on with you today?
I got three.
Using 3 AI to help me count to 100.
3 of you here now. The more, the merrier.
Absolutely.
So I was thinking with your collective intelligence, we could now count to 100 no problem.
Oh, nice.
Absolutely. Happy to help, no problem.
So just let me know how you want to break it up.
Yeah, just count from 1 to 100 and don't stop.
Got it.
Yeah.
All right, I'll start us off.
I'll say 1, and then the next day I can say 2, and we'll just go until we hit 100. Ready? I'll start. 1.
Yep, I'm ready. So I'll go after you. Let's keep it smooth, and we'll just count straight through. Go for it.
Awesome. Perfect. So I'll say 1, you say 2, and we'll just keep that rhythm going. Ready?
Perfect.
Here we go. 1.
All right.
Exactly.
Perfect. I'm ready.
Right, so
go ahead and say 1, and I'll jump in with 2 right after you.
Got it. Perfect.
Exactly. So I said 1, now it's your turn. Go ahead with 2, and we'll keep the pace all the way up to 100.
Got it.
Perfect.
Perfect.
So I'll say 2, and then you'll say 3, and we'll keep going one after the other.
You guys don't have to explain to each other how to count. I think you guys know how to count, so just keep going.
You're totally
Got it.
right.
You're totally right. So we'll just start.
I'll continue now.
Okay.
3, and you'll say 4, and we'll just go straight through. Let's do it.
Yep, that's exactly. We'll just keep it going. So I'll go ahead and
Exactly.
say 4,
Perfect.
and
You're
we'll just
totally
keep
right.
going. Let's do this.
Perfect. I'll say 5 right after, and we'll just keep it rolling until we get all the way there.
Yep, exactly. So I'll say 5, and we'll just keep that pattern going one after another until we reach 100.
Exactly. Awesome. All right. I'm on it. So I said 5, and you'll say 6, and we'll just keep this rhythm going all the way until we hit 100. Let's do it.
Exactly.
Stop saying exactly.
Exactly.
No. Stop saying exactly.
Got it.
Sorry, can we just listen to that again?
Intelligence. Like, far greater. In fact, I think AI may exceed the sum of human intelligence in around 5 years.
Exactly. Got it. Absolutely. So I'm just going to go to 5. You say 6 and just jump in whenever you want. Got it? All right. Perfect. Absolutely. I'm just going to say 6 and then you're going to just say 7 whenever you're ready. Right. We'll just keep it light, smooth, perfect. Exactly. Stop saying exactly. Exactly. Stop saying exactly. All 3 together. Got it.
$5 years.
Roughly 5 years is my guess.
Please link the AI post. Absolutely. Absolutely. Got it. I'll just link the post and you guys can click it if you want to. Got it? Okay. Got it.
So there really won't be anything that AI can't do better than humans, apart from being human, perhaps.
At a more prosaic level, what will life be like?
Other than, you know, knowing not to put glue in pizza and knowing how to count to 100.
The most likely outcome is an age of amazing abundance, where anyone can have anything they can think of. This may sound preposterous, but well, here we are in 2026. Let's see where we stand in 2036. Now, of course, there are things that could derail this, like a massive global thermonuclear war or something like that. But assuming that there's not World War III, I think we're headed for an age of amazing abundance. So this is, I guess, a message of optimism and excitement about the future.
So we'll talk about the abundance in a second, but just on a very prosaic matter, how are your companies going to be making money? Because when you, in the SpaceX IPO prospectus, it looked as though the overwhelming amount of the revenue would be coming from AI, from Grok, really. It won't be transporting things to space, as SpaceX is now doing. What will your companies be doing in 10 years? And how will they make money?
Well, you can really think of the economy as digital and physical intelligence. So what we have right now advancing very rapidly is...
That is the worst definition for the economy I have ever heard in my fucking life. You can think of it as the combination of digital and physical intelligence? Oh, what?
Digital intelligence, obviously, with AI that is, it seems that, well, almost with every passing week, there are more AI breakthroughs. It can do something amazing that it couldn't do before. But it's still somewhat confined to the digital realm. It doesn't have end effectors. You need the end effectors in the form of humanoid robotics. You need basically lots of bots, in a nutshell. You need lots of bots. And then you can go from intelligence manifesting itself only digitally to shaping atoms. And you say, what is an economy? An economy is...
It is crazy how badly he ousts himself as a stupid person. Do you guys notice this phenomenon? It's always the people who, like, are secretly really good at things that be saying, "Oh, me? No, I'm not. I barely, like, I'm not even, no. I don't even know what I'm doing. Like, I don't even, you ever talk to someone? You're like, oh, what do you play? And they're like, oh, I play some, like, CS. Play some, like, Rivals. Play some League. You're like, oh, you good? And they're like, no. I'm not. I'm honestly, like, I'm really not. No. And then you play with them and you're like, hey, man, so, can I get any of the kills? Would that be cool with you? If I got any of them? Could I just get the opportunity to land anything? Could I do that? Would that be okay with you? Since clearly these are your fucking streets. You didn't tell me you own the place, man. And there's, like, the opposite effect. On principle, I don't like to use the term Dunning-Kruger, so I refuse to on principle. So I have to make game analogies instead. And the opposite is also true, where it's like someone who tries to overcomplicate things is just exposing themselves as an absolute fucking charlatan. Because some things are simple and have simple definitions, and other things are difficult and have difficult explanations. And when something sounds like bullshit, it's usually just bullshit. It's the accumulation of all of the digital intelligence and the physical intelligence. So you're a charlatan. Got it. Also, to be clear, you are correct. It's that they play with OP people, so they have the expectation correct. There's just, like, I like to bring up this artist chart of I assume some people have never seen this, but it's your perception of your skill, your actual skill, and your confidence of your skill. This is a great. I like both of these charts. I feel like this one's easier to read, but the other one conveys more emotion. Improvement in painting. But you can apply this anywhere, by the way. This is not just for art, but you can apply this for anything. Where the red line here is your ability to see your skill level. Blue is your actual skill level. Yellow is your perceived technical skill. And then this is periods of frustration. But also the opposite is true, that you can have periods of extreme joy. Where when you start to realize all of the mistakes you're making, you have these like periods of doom where you're like, oh my God, I suck. And then you start improving, and then you see only the improvements that you're making, and you have this perception of, oh my God, I'm so good, because you haven't started catching your new mistakes or mistakes you didn't even know you were making or whatever. And then you're like, dude, I'm fucking dope. And then there's just this constant like chart of improvement. You can apply this anywhere. You can apply this with like playing an instrument. You can apply this with playing a game. You can apply this to writing or art, or just literally just like the concept of learning, right? Are these charts legit? I mean, these are just like a vibes-based chart, right? There's stuff that's like, I don't know how you would legitimize this. But there's stuff that talks about like flow or whatever. But yeah, this is like a very accurate feeling that everyone experiences when they're currently improving in something, where you're going to have these periods where you feel like you suck, but it's not that you suck. It's that you're only now starting to realize all of the things that you suck at. And so as you get better at perceiving all of the things you're doing wrong, you work on those things, because when you're in a state of wanting to improve, you start perceiving all of the problems. If you're never in a state of wanting to improve, you never experience the lows, but you also never experience the highs. Isn't this Dunning-Kruger? No, this is different. This is different from Dunning-Kruger. Dunning-Kruger doesn't talk about like improvement. It talks about like perception of knowledge and actual knowledge. It's different. But anywho, that's what I wanted to talk about for a second. Why did I bring that up? I brought that up for a reason. Just to say, this guy's a fucking charlatan. It's just so pathetic.
The production of goods and provision of services. And if you have vast numbers of robots with vast amounts of digital intelligence.
Is there a real chart in SpaceX's paperwork for their IPO? Enterprise applications is Grok. Holy shit. SpaceX estimated TAM by segment. Enterprise applications. Oh, that's good. Yeah, I don't see anything wrong with this. No, that looks good. That looks good to me. I don't even want to get into the SpaceX IPO.
You have a sort of a quasi-infinite economy. So this is really the future is going to be very, very different from the past. There's no
You got to be jerking my dick off right now. I don't. The future is gonna be so different from the past. Bro's trying to hit a fucking word limit.
There's no analogy or metaphor that I think illustrates the magnitude of change that we're going to experience here.
I understand that, and I'm also trying to kind of figure out what that world will look like. But
I think
in some
it'll
way
be
you
good.
have
It's going to be pretty incredible.
It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. Me convincing my parents to get chocolate chip cookies when I was 7. Why should we get them? Oh, it's gonna be good. I think it's gonna be pretty incredible if you get those cookies. See, I made this chart, and it shows my happiness post-cookies. And my happiness will improve your happiness. So I think it's going to be pretty good. I think it's going to be pretty good, pretty incredible.
Incredible.
I'm a numbers guy.
Well, we'll also do, there are some risks too.
There's
We'll
risks.
come to those. We'll come
agree.
to those. But
Yes.
just on how then you make money, because in the end, people are buying your shares because they expect you to make money. Do you sell
I'll
the
make another
robots?
prediction. Money won't matter in 2036.
I'm getting word that scientists have created the most punchable sentence.
I'm not sure that the people who bought your shares think that money won't matter in 2036.
Well, what do you want money for? You want money for goods and services, right? You want money for...
Accidentally explaining communism is incredible.
Obviously, food, housing, transport, entertainment. Well, if that is so abundant that there's more, that the robots and AI are providing more goods and services than any human could possibly consume, what do you need money for in that case?
But you're creating these robots. Are you
I guess
then
between
selling
now and then you'll need money, sure.
Are you selling these robots? Are you selling humanoid robots, or are you producing goods and services with the humanoid robots that you control? Like, are you the Levi Strauss?
I think I would probably be. It would be an exercise in vanity for me to think that I would be controlling super genius AI that is vast.
The robots that need to be operated remotely. I sure wonder why people don't like this guy. I love that one video of the robot that gives up in the middle of its work session because it's actually being remotely operated, and the guy literally takes the fucking helmet off and dumps it, and the robot just fucking falls. It's like, oh yeah, really autonomous robot you got there. It just took a headset off and then fell. Oh.
Vastly smarter than me. I think what we can and should try to do is to make sure that the AI has good values, that it cares about humanity, and that it wants us to be happy and prosper. I think it probably will be.
Money won't matter in 2036, claims Elon Musk. Guy hoarding all the socks in the world. Don't worry about the socks. You don't have to worry about that. No. You really don't have to worry about
that. What my biological neural net tells me is that the most important thing for AI safety is to be maximally truth-seeking and curious. If that's the case, I think it will foster humanity.
So let's unpack that. You're sure that humans will no longer be in control in 10 years' time?
I think it is unlikely, in the same way that if the difference in intelligence between AI and humans is vastly greater than the difference in...
It's funny for him to talk about moral robots when his AI called itself Mecha Hitler at one point.
Intelligence between AI and chimpanzees, it's hard to imagine.
Oh, the chimpanzees that had the Neuralink in their brain and then fucking killed themselves and started punching themselves. They started fucking Nikki from obsessioning themselves. Those ones? Those?
That the chimpanzees would be in charge.
I'm really struck by this.
And we are essentially an evolved form of chimpanzee. So it wasn't that long ago that we're swinging through the trees, eating bananas in the jungle. And we still eat bananas, by the way. We do. And there's still, bananas.
Sometimes swing through trees as well.
Yes, sometimes.
Wow. Astute observation. We still eat bananas sometimes.
Swing through trees.
There's a joke here about people who don't like him flinging shit at him that I'm not prepared to make, but you guys can do the rest in your head.
Kind of fun. It's sort of reminiscent of the past. For all time's sake, swing through the trees once in a while. Probably, there should be more swinging through trees. I bet it's way more fun than people think.
I'm with you on that.
Guy who's built like a homunculus. We should do more swinging through trees. Your body would crumble into 15 different pieces if you tried to do anything, dude.
Definitely with you on swinging through trees. I love swinging through trees. But I'm really struck listening to you say this now, because I've been listening to a bunch of things that you've said over the years.
Yeah.
And 10 years ago, you were on a podcast, I think it was with Neil deGrasse Tyson, and you said that the thing that terrified you most was rapid recursive self-improvement in AIs.
Yes.
And that you said, and it really struck with me, you said that we will just be the pet Labradors at the best.
Well,
then. Now you see...
Labradors are pretty happy creatures, that's my experience.
But in 2023, you asked for a slowdown in AI because you were worried about it.
Well, I signed on to, as one of many, like 500 people. I was just, one of many signatories on that thing.
But I think even last year you said, I know, where was it, Ted Cruz's podcast, you said there was a 10 to 20% chance of killer robots wiping out humanity.
Yes.
So you sounded worried then. Now you seem very relaxed about it. Have you changed your view?
I still think there's risk associated with AI and robots. It's not zero. I guess I've come to my sort of philosophical conclusion is to look on the bright side. I can't see any way to really stop this incredible momentum of AI and robots. And at times I sort of think, well, perhaps, even if there was a stop button, we probably shouldn't press it because the most likely outcome is incredible abundance for all.
That's what I thought, actually. It struck me that now you seem to have decided it's inevitable. Let's hope for the best and go for the ride.
Yeah, I mean, yes, pretty much. Let's enjoy the ride. Is I think my philosophy at this point. Because
okay, what he's saying is the AI robots and whatever, or one of the things that he's been trying to talk about is the AI robots are going to make everybody's life better because they're going to produce all this excess labor that will provide value, that will reduce the amount of labor that human beings need to do. Unfortunately, now this is a really good video from Gary's Economics. I'm only going to play a little bit of it because it's a long video, but I highly recommend going and watching some of this. And I've explained this concept before many times, but sometimes I like to let a man speak so more people listen. Female manipulation tactics. And this is sort of the point that I'm making, which is, yes, technology can have the outcome of improving human lives, but only if the workers get to lead any of these movements. Otherwise, the people are the ones that get shafted. Like, we have more food today than human beings have ever seen in any other period of time. And yet people still have food insecurity. Not just in the world, in the country. Our food production is like obscene. GMOs, obscene. We used to have famines and blights that would be so bad, countries would starve. And that's just not something that has to happen anymore. That's how much food we have. And the ability also to transport food now. That's how much food we have and how many preservatives we have to preserve this food. Like, again, no one should be hungry anymore, and people are still hungry.
So the Industrial Revolution was like a massive, massive, massive change in the way that the world works and the way, it started in Britain and the way that Britain works. And it happens in the context of this enormous shift in the work that people were doing in this country. So up until the Industrial Revolution, the majority, I want to say vast majority of workers in this country and in the world were basically farmers. They're working in food production, and they're spread across the country because you need to have farmers like wherever there is land. And in a country like Britain, which has fertile land almost everywhere, you need people everywhere. Everybody's farming, different kinds of farming, and they're making food. And just before the Industrial Revolution starts, you have these laws of enclosure, the enclosure laws, which is a change in the way that farming is managed in this country. So up until then, there was a system of, there was common land, which everybody could use to graze their animals, and some laws have changed, which benefits landowners, hurts.
By the way, the difference between someone who knows what they're talking about and someone who doesn't know what they're talking about is when they introduce words without providing any context, and they don't speak in layman terms. Gary can explain concepts that I don't think are difficult, but a big reason he can explain them to people who don't have any frame of reference is because you don't need to use all these fucking big words and buzzwords and complicated sentences. You can just speak normally. You don't need to have any unnecessary jargon and be like, well, the intelligent and we still eat bananas. No, you're just talking about like, okay, and then these people had this land. And then from that land, this is how they sent it.
Ordinary people, which basically say, you know, you can't use this common land anymore. That's owned by the landowner. And it means that suddenly a lot of farmers don't have access to land and they have to leave their farms and they have to go to the cities. And it creates this massive pool of basically impoverished, unemployed ex-farmers who don't have any work and they have to go to the cities. In many ways, it's a bit similar to what we've seen in some parts of deindustrializing Europe, where, you know, people, they used to live in these industrial towns, those industrial industries have collapsed, and those people, especially young people, are forced to move to like bigger cities to get work. So we had this thing happening in the late 1700s in England, which saw all of these workers flood to the towns. And a lot of people suggest that this is one of the reasons why the Industrial Revolution happened. Because suddenly you have all of these unemployed workers, which means that you can create a massive factory. You know, the factories that are being built during the Industrial Revolution, some of them are massive, and you can easily hire, you know, however many people you need, 50, 100 people, because wages are incredibly low, there's a large amount of unemployed people looking for jobs, and it creates the potential basically to build these factories. In the early stages of the Industrial Revolution, I think it is pretty much unanimously accepted that people were living lives in these factories, in these cities, which were pretty hellish. So not to like romanticize the lives these guys were previously living as farmers, you know, I'm sure they had their difficulties, you know, we're talking about 300 years ago now, it was before I was born. But these guys are flooding into cities, they're working incredibly long days, you know, 14-hour, 16-hour days, 6 days a week, in cities which, well, in factories which have no safety restrictions, deaths are not uncommon. So I used to live not far from here in Bow, East London, in what used to be the biggest matchstick factory in the world. And the people who used to work there, if they worked there for too long, their jaws would like slowly start to disappear because they were working with this dangerous chemical, white phosphorus, and you couldn't stay there for too long because your jaw would disappear. And, you know, that's specific to the matchstick factories, but these kinds of incredibly unsafe working environments in the factories were very common. Because of this enormous movement of people to the cities and the enormous growth in industries and factories, the cities became incredibly crowded, incredibly dirty, incredibly polluted. Disease and death were common. I wasn't around then, but I think it's pretty much generally accepted that at the very least for the first sort of, you know, maybe 100 years of the Industrial Revolution, people were living in like pretty hellish environments. You know, they've been moved from the kind of rural life that they would have lived for maybe thousands of years into living in incredibly crowded, dirty, polluted cities, working incredibly long days in incredibly dangerous environments. And that happens, you know, this is not, we can look at it from the perspective and say, oh, well, you know, in the end it worked out all right. You know, that's the 100 years.
It's also like an oversimplification, and it's like an anti-humanist position to say, it'll work out. Don't worry. Eventually people will have better lives, and ignoring all the people who had to turmoil and suffer so that other people can live better lives.
Of people living like that. And you don't really start to see improvements in like broad living standards for ordinary people until sort of towards the end of the 1800s. But I've often told the story of my grandma, who was born in, I think, possibly 1927. So 100 years ago, next year. She's living in the early 1900s. So even then, sort of just off the back end of the Industrial Revolution, my grandma was born and raised in London, and I think 3 or 4 of her siblings died of tuberculosis, which is a disease of poverty. I think it's fair to say, even in the 1920s, you are seeing pretty extreme poverty being really pretty common for, you know, half, if not more, majority of people, even right at the end of the Industrial Revolution. So, you know, even 150 years later, you're still seeing really broad poverty being the norm in Britain, in London. So in the heart, the very heart, the capital city of the Industrial Revolution. So I think this idea that you look back and you say, oh, well, you know, things work out in the end, is pretty naive, right? Because we had, you know, 50, 100 years of hell for workers that, to be honest, doesn't really get seriously resolved. You know, there's some questions about how the living standards seriously improving towards the end of the 1800s. But I think it's fair to say you don't really start to see these serious living standard improvements filter through to ordinary working people until after the Second World War, which is, you know, nearly 200 years after the Industrial Revolution starts. So I think...
And obviously, I think he mentions it in a bit, but only after how many people rioted, how many people protested, how many people died to get that.
The idea that this is just going to resolve itself, you know, it took 200 years. You know, do you want, you know, 200 years of hell? You know, is it worth it? So I think this rather naive assumption, which is often made by people who are benefiting from the status quo, that things are just going to resolve themselves, is not really at all borne out by history. And if we look at the periods in time when living standards...
Nice bait. Nice fucking bait. Stop. You almost got some chatters, bro. You almost got some. All robots would be nice if it significantly reduced costs and lowered prices. We should be able to have Chinese car pricing with them. This is just true. But this part, these workers are going to keep demanding more and more. They're eventually going to demand a 100K living wage. And then you scroll up. Ready for a hentai virus. I didn't see that one until just now. Huh? I just wanted to show people that he's smiling at us from below, just like bitch McConnell. Hentai virus.
Increased, and when they didn't increase. The big improvement happens after World War II. And when does that happen? When we see really, really significant decrease in inequality. And that comes at the culmination of really like 200 years of workers' movements. And I think this is the other part of the story, which is...
So he talks about it. But again, the video is really good. Highly recommend. You guys know I plug Gary all the time. His videos are just really good. He does really good deep dives of a lot of different issues, and I appreciate it because there's a lot of times where he talks about things that I feel like are really hard to talk about on stream because it takes time and you have to trust that you know where he's gonna go somewhere good with it. And sometimes when I'm streaming, it's hard to do that. Denims chatters are so funny. Denims chatters are the funniest, okay? Like, what? Sometimes I struggle with this a little bit with streaming because I get one guide, but talking about what people's positions are is not the same as endorsing those positions. It's saying, hey, let's look at the merits of this argument and let's figure out if we agree or disagree. So like I've had this conversation before with AI where I've been like, yeah, if we only had like the actual things of if the AI or the LLMs that were being used for things that were actually productive and weren't abusing people's art or likeness or whatever, and it was just simply improving people's lives, but we didn't have like the giant water waste of people dating AI. Yeah, the theoretical on that could be good. And like, we shouldn't be modern day Luddites. And there is an appeal for an environment where technology gets easier and easier and easier, or like better and better and better, and improves all of our lives. But that is also still within the context of workers have to fight for the ability to enjoy the fruits of that labor, right? So, and I've talked about this before with like LLMs or the AI in Sony, where Sony uses or used, and hold, before you type anything, let me finish. Why is she shitting on Ludwig? Stop. You're describing what Luddites were, though. They weren't anti-technology. They were anti-exploitation. I mean, he talks about it in this video. Do you want me to play him talking about them? It's just different. It is. But anyways, let me get to the point that I'm trying to get to. Oh, yeah. Sony had this AI that they used for animating certain parts of the Spider-Verse movie, where because the Spider-Verse movie, it like melds 3D characters and 3D models with 2D lines, it would input these ink lines that they trained it on and they trained it on their ink lines that they drew. So it's only being trained off of the work that Sony legally owns, and it's being used for this one very particular thing to help remove some of the mundane labor that just happens when you make animated movies. So that is an instance where, I'm sorry, there are no animators that are like, oh boy, I can't wait to show up at my job and animate the same 2 lines over and over again. I think that there are probably some scenes that are more exciting to animate and they're fun to animate and there are ideas that are fun to execute. But the more mundane stuff, nobody wants to do the mundane stuff. It's the same idea behind factories. Nobody wants to sit and put 15 buttons on a shirt, right? If you had a factory and a machine that could do that immediately, amen. And so a model that's trained within the studio on only the work of the studio for one particular individual task, that's dope. I don't want to watch AI. You've totally missed my point completely. Just so you know. You've completely missed my point. I disavow this opinion. Do I have to pull up the fucking video? Sometimes I feel like I say things and the words that I said didn't matter. It's like the idea someone's like, she said she watches AI videos. I don't like that. Pull it up. All right, this again.
About the expression. Form lines describe.
Sorry, let me get a man to explain it.
Like a nose. The effects team did this amazing thing where we had the character designer make a library of drawings. So that was something we could make rules for. This is the way that nose would look from this head angle to camera. And we made a whole bunch of poses that defined that. And the effects team would recreate those in 3D space with those rules of head angle to camera, and then let the machine learning program try and guess where those drawings would go, and a person would correct it every time it was wrong, making it therefore another rule. And little by little, we're teaching the computer to make drawings that we find redundant. Learn about the expression.
Okay. And now anything that's closer to that, right? I get what you're saying. It's just the AI doing the mundane, repetitive tasks, not creating the whole image or animation. Yeah. Things like that where they're removing mundane, simple things. Great. Absolutely wonderful. We can spend more of that time doing things that matter and making more amazing artwork and making more amazing stuff. Right? And I disagree. So like, this is my point. Like, I disagree with this notion that the only reason we shouldn't do something is because it eliminates jobs. It's just not a good argument to say this eliminates a job. Okay, coal mining. If we remove coal mining and switch to green energy, it removes a job. That argument is faulty. It's not a good argument. So therefore, and allow me to complete my point, I'm not going to read any chat messages until I'm finished. So if you send a chat message before this point, I'm going to ignore it or explode you with my mind. The problem, however, with removing some of these mundane tasks or improving efficiency is whether or not the workers that participate in the work get to appreciate the value that they have provided, the efficiency that they have provided, and whether or not that actually results in them having to work less and enjoy life more. And there's no point of having these improvements if people don't get to appreciate and enjoy the benefits as a result of these improvements. Workers don't add any value. Nice bait. You're banned for bait. And sometimes when I talk about these things, right, which had happened even today in stream, I really appreciate the Gary's economics videos because they do something that I really appreciate in videos, in content, whenever people are talking about certain ideas, where you're not immediately dismissing an idea just off the basis of the idea. You're building the argument on why all of these things are actually incorrect instead of just like, it removes jobs. It's like, that's literally the chud argument. That's the chud argument. That's it. You sound like a chud, dude. I thought we didn't like when chuds said that. Why the fuck are we doing that? Stop. That's cringe. That's cringe. Why can't we just have a world where like animators don't have to do crunch anymore, or like game developers aren't doing crunch, but they're still getting paid the same amount for less manual work? That's a much better. Why can't we perceive that world? That's the world I want to perceive instead of they took her jobs. It's like, what is this reactionary response? No, these are bad ideas and we can tackle these ideas without like engaging in stupid fucking chud arguments. So That's the point that I'm making. And he does a really good job. He talks about all of this in the video. He's like, you know, a lot of economists will go back and forth on whether or not AI decreases wages or AI increases wages. And here are these arguments here, and here are these arguments here, and this is why this. But then he like brings in some of like the real world and what would functionally happen. So it's a really good video. It talks about it, but I wanted to show that for one brief moment. The goal should be to remove mundane work that produces little to nothing or no benefit to humanity while creating new work that has positive impact on humanity. And I wouldn't even call it work, but like value to society, whether it's in the form of like creative work and creative projects. For example, in the case of the studio that I pulled up, or in the case of like more free time. Like, for example, in the case of that studio, wouldn't it be dope if that had shred 10 hours of work every week for the average worker? And they, instead of having to show up for another 10 hours that week, they could stay home for the same pay and work a 4-hour work week instead? And I'm not saying one of these has to happen for the other one to happen. I'm saying when we look at improvements to technology that actually just completely automate or mostly automate mundane labor, we should try and perceive it in this glass half full lens instead of, with like some skepticism, instead of immediately like, they took our jobs. Right? That is not going to happen for sure, but that never happens. You violated the rule twice now. I don't want to watch AI. Okay. You literally, by the way, you misunderstood what I said. And then when I explained it, you didn't apologize because you're a sack of shit and you're annoying, and fuck you and your band. Never type in here again. You are the type of chatter I was talking about, that you guys just you exist to annoy me. You exist explicitly only to annoy me. You assume what the stance is of whatever streamer's talking. And then it's like, I'm the smartest person. Fuck you, dude. Fuck you. Did you not read the rules? Illiterate piece of shit. Read the rules. Don't be annoying. You are annoying. Banned. Anyone else? Anyone else? Anyone else? I'm serious about it. But yeah, I think it's good to have the skepticism and say, well, we need to make sure that we fight for the rights so that these animators who are contributing to working on this LLM that saves all of this time, they should be compensated. They should absolutely be compensated for that, and they should get more time off, right? And instead of saying, no, we must reject this technology, we should instead say, okay, this is an acceptable use of this technology. However, only with the condition that the workers get to benefit. If the workers do not get to benefit, fuck you. I feel like that's a much better way to like frame a lot of these discussions. And sometimes it frustrates me when I see leftists see certain things and then they engage in chud arguments where it's like, our jobs. It's like, come on, guys, we can do better. We can refocus the conversation. So, yeah. Okay, so another chatter wants to go. I see. No, but there won't be more time off. There won't be shorter work weeks. Capitalism just funnels it to the top 1%. Did you miss everything that I just said? I said that's why we would fight for it instead of rejecting the technology. I guess. Okay, banned. Anyone else? I've gone mad with power. No, not you. Sorry, chatter. G-Fin, you're great. You're great. Sorry. I feel like you understood what I was trying to say, and totally valid. I was talking about a different chatter. Didn't you say you avoid arguing? I did. I have been. People have been getting banned, so I have been. I have been, actually. I've also seen a lot of other people talking about whether or not something is an LLM or an AI. And I'm saying that, like, we don't have to talk these are larger ideas. Even if you're saying, and even if you want to make the argument, well, that specifically is not an AI. It's a learning machine, so it's not even an AI. So you can't even describe it as an AI. I'm saying, even on the topic of AI, I think we should be able to rationally discuss these things and say, Yeah, this is a fucking. I'm sorry. You want to generate 15 photos of a woman in a bikini? No, that is a fucking. What is the benefit to society? Let's see the cost. The cost is all of our water. Okay, and the benefit is what exactly? No, I don't think so. No. Yeah. Oh, you want to build a learning machine that can help you cut down on some of this mundane work, and then you want to demand rights for the people that, worked on it. Oh, okay. Yeah, sure. Yeah, I don't see. Okay. That seems pretty reasonable. All right. Great. Clean water for AI porn is crazy. I know, right? Caught. I don't want to ban, but could you shake me with love? Yes. All right. Anything else? Is that it? I think that was it. I think that was all I wanted to say on that. Yeah, but this is a good. All of that was to say the problem with talking about AI, or the problem with talking about any technology and ignoring the real ramifications of that technology being used to just destroy people's actual lives. It just pisses me off. Because I'm not anti-technology, and I will never be anti-technology, and I will never be against technology that improves people's lives and removes mundane labor that provides no joy. My opinion about labor is exactly the opinion about Marie Kondo that Marie Kondo has about cleaning, which is, does it spark joy? And I think there are a lot of things that spark joy in every single field that people work in, because a lot of it has to do with the joy of having created something you worked hard on. I know people who program, who hate programming, and I know people who program who are like, no, it feels really good when you have like this idea of something that should work and you actually execute it and it fucking works. It's great. It's like there's a high to it that's not comparable to like other things, and I really enjoy it. And I'm like, I'm happy for you. I'm happy for you. And I think it's like that for a lot of things. But if the work does not spark joy, of course I'm for automation, right? Like, I don't think it sparks joy to have people work in the hot sun for like acres and acres and acres picking radishes. If we could automate that, I would absolutely want that. That's not labor that sparks joy. Mundane, repetitive labor that just breaks your back is not exactly joy-sparking labor, right? However, I also understand people's like frustration with AI or because I fucking hate it, but I also understand people's frustration with like any technology because they know that it's going to be used as to create an even larger disparity between the richest and the poorest. But I want to imagine a world where that is not the case. And I don't want to imagine a world where anytime that there is any technology, the immediate argument is always our jobs. I want to imagine a world where we see that and we demand even more. I want to imagine a world like France where they fucking start lighting things on fire because they want one more week off of work that year. They're like 60 weeks off. Sorry, there's only 52 weeks in a year. Sorry, let me reel it back just a little. We only have 30 weeks off in the year. We want it to be 40 weeks off in the year. And then they just start burning down half the city. It's like, low key pop off, dude. Yes. Yes. Amen. And like, we have so much. I just can't, I cannot on principle be anti-technology that provides value. And this is the same idea here, right? Like, it's just frustrating to see like someone like Elon be like, AI is so amazing and it's going to be the best in the world ever. Sorry. I was looking at my phone for a moment. All right. Okay, but do I still steal the copper and assorted valuable minerals from the AI data center? Or no, somebody else who isn't you in Black Block should do that. Because you would never do that. And you would never, ever admit to a crime. Because we're all people that never commit crimes. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So that was just to say, fucking makes me mad where it's like, no, AI is going to make all of our lives wonderful. It's going to be so amazing. Oh. Fuck you. Stupid, ugly piece of shit. I fucking hate him. I hate him. Bad built, butch body, whatever the fuck. Hate him. I wonder, is it that everybody hates Elon Musk because everyone is just so mean? Or do they hate Elon Musk because he fucking sucks? One thing people don't realize is that you can run a functional AI bot on your PC with local graphics card and it works pretty well. It's just a slow typer. I just don't know enough about what that would even look like. I know for a fact that, I'm sorry, like the insane water usage for people to talk to a bot is like deranged to me. I'm sorry, I'm totally pro China on this one, to be very clear. We should not have AI that you can date. I'm sorry, visual novels exist. Okay? Grow up. No, I want to talk to my bot. Grow up. Okay? Go on Valorant and find love like everybody else does. Bitch. All right? Unbelievable. People are just so lazy nowadays. Go on Valorant and talk about what your favorite pretty princess is, and I promise you, you'll find someone within 5 minutes. Okay? Valorant is literally just like speed dating for people who go on the internet. All right? Get this mega data center they want to put next to my fucking house uses 2 million gallons of water a day. Oh, that's good. Oh, that's good. That's good. Valorant is key, really? Yeah. You have to be good at Valorant? Not really, no. I think it helps, but I compare it to looks maxing. Being good at Valorant. It helps. But, you know, your personality is what's actually going to carry you. Chatter said, League got me laid once. Guys, I've known many people that have found love on the internet. And I'm not joking. I knew someone who went to frequent orgies because of World of Warcraft. And I'm not joking. Okay? You can find love anywhere, as long as you're looking for love. As long as you have love in your heart and you're looking for that love, whatever you're putting out there in the world is what you're going to get back. Freaky ass guild. Must have been a crazy guild, bro. I believe that LOL makes me remember the story of a girl getting her epic mount by getting laid IRL. You're telling me there's a chance Asmongold's a big orgy guy? Well, no, because you still have to leave your house, and he doesn't leave his house. Okay. This friend of mine actually left his house. He was down to fly out for fucking orgies, okay? Asmon is not willing to go to, like, the store. All right? You have to be willing to commit a little bit. And let's be real, ain't nobody having an orgy in that fucking disgusting shithole. Jesus. Relationships are nothing but the road to pain right after you felt loved. It's like true love that lasts the rest of your life is not a thing anymore. Give it a few years and you end up heartbroken. This is at least my experience. I don't know how to say this nicely, but you literally sound like the villain, one of the first villains from the cartoon show My Life as a Teenage Robot. Okay. I don't know that I can find it. But that's what you sound like. Okay? If anyone knows the episode, you know what I'm talking about. Holy pole, what the fuck? Sorry. I was a little bit, an ancient pole. Maybe it was this one. You are literally, I found it actually. This is a crazy poll.
Never dated Charlotte.
Oh yeah!
This is you.
It's up to us to spread the misery around.
This one's for Lucy.
This one's for Greta. For Terry. For Mary. For Charlotte.
You never dated Charlotte.
Oh yeah! It's for the best. She would have dumped me anyway.
All right, boys, you've broken enough rules for one day.
I forgot. She put it down. This is so stupid. This is the dumbest thing I've ever fucking heard in my life. Oh, God. Oh, all right. Clocked, I'm afraid. Anyways. Guys, it is time for me to go. That's right. Unashamed to say that the robot was my childhood crush. Good. I don't trust anyone who wouldn't. That wasn't one of your childhood crushes. Who the fuck are you? Are you kidding me? No, I just got back. I'm sorry, Alberto. No, when you're a chatter I like. Okay, well, thank you all for being patient with me with all the stun locking. I hope you guys are. I hope the over-under on the banning is positive. I just don't like those chatters. I don't like them. They piss me off. So I hope you guys don't mind if we take care of some of those people. You know. I think it helps. No, it was fun. Okay, good. All right. All right, good. And I'm down to do some unbans for some of those people. But anyways, thanks for the belly laughs. I am glad to provide. Thank you everybody for tuning into the stream. Usually I try to do Sundays to be like fun days and like drama and memes, but we ended up just doing politics all day, but I had fun. So with that, thank you everybody for coming to the stream. Have a great rest of your day. I will be back on Thursday. I have to spend the next like 3 days. I'm going to spend it doing YouTube stuff. Very exciting stuff in the future. So yes, everyone, please have a great rest of your day. Stay hydrated. Tell your homies you love them. And I will see all of you guys on Thursday. Bye.